Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us. We're here, we're live, and we're ready for game week 1. We're back to the beginning, Harry. And I was saying last night, I did a kind of little preview stream for myself. We're here for the deadline show, of course, but like volume 1 of Sorare, the book is now on the shelf, and it feels like now that we've got game week 1 and all the other stuff that I'm sure we'll be wrestling in the show today. It's the beginning of volume 2. You know, it's not even a chapter, it's a full new book, I think now we can categorise it as. But we're here for not the first deadline show, but deadline show for game week 1. I am Quinny, and I'm joined as always by my co-pilot, Harry Trades. Harry, my man, good to see you.
Good to see you, mate. Yeah, thank you for having me. Jesus, game week 1. I wish I was around in those days, you know, from the OG game week 1. But yeah, to do 500, what was it, 501 before they've called time on chapter 1, and yeah, Jesus, we're into. I mean, I get it. I do get it. New season. It's the first full season of in season if we're talking European cards and all that fun stuff. So like top 5 leagues. So yeah, no, it makes sense. I think I think it'll resonate with a wider audience, maybe for us OG Sorare players and anyone that's been around for however long. It's a weird one. Like we've liked the whole even number situation. We were on that for a little while, weren't we? And then they've taken it away from us straight away. We're back to 1. So it is what it is, right?
So do you think it makes it worse or better that they didn't do something special for 500?
Looking back now, yeah, okay, fair. Probably looks even worse, right? But then you could argue their focus is on looking forward and kind of kicking off, this game week here. So I do get it. Like I get why they might not have put too much resources into that, but at the same time, it was a big 500 game. Like there was a lot of game weeks, 501. So it was like, it would have been nice to I don't know. But then they did something for 200. Did they do something for 400, 300? I don't think
there was only one that I remember getting something.
But then maybe the new cards make it tricky to do what they did last time with the whole game week, game week 200 special weekly thing. I don't know. There might be something tricky because these are 3. I don't know. Well, they're 3D, so I don't know. There could have been something that stopped them doing that, but who knows?
Yeah. Fair. And there's a bunch of us here live and loud with us as well. Fist bump to everyone on arrival, but we've got some breaking news before we even get into anything. Rodri confirmed out for the Chelsea game. If any of you were teetering on the Rodris, I was saying doing lineup builders with the members, feels like De Bruyne weekend to me anyway, and Chelsea match. The way Belgium going out the Euros and how he was a wee bit spicy afterwards, and then is he go to Saudi? Is he not? I think De Bruyne's this is a game where people. Because no one's talking about him, and he is fucking De Bruyne. Right. Let's be straight, former club, like you say, and I don't know. It feels like De Bruyne weekend, but breaking news on the Rodri certainly. But yeah, fist bumps to everyone on arrival. Don't forget to smash that like button. We're on Twitter, we're on Twitch, we're on YouTube. No matter where you're following the show today, you find the links to Harry's channel in the description of the video. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe on the show today as well. And let us know any other breaking news we get from the timeline, from press conferences, from wherever you're finding your intel. Thanks very much, MU player clips on the memberships, my man. But yeah, fist bumps to everyone. And it's game week 1. All bets are off, Harry. It's all back to 0. There's a few interesting things that I'm really looking forward to tackling, not just in this show, but in the new, in this kind of new stage that we're at. In a few different ways. But one of the things that I think will become a recurring strategical option is going to be under 23s. I think a lot of people have just had an auto deployment. I think it feels like everyone has. I was quite excited when I got a D1 entry, but it feels like a lot of people got a D1 entry. But I know you are Mr. U23, so how are you feeling about divisional under 23?
Yeah, it is exciting. We've kind of known this is going to be a thing for a while, but yeah, to see it, to be able to input the lineups, it does feel quite nice. And it does feel good. I don't have all my sort of army with me. Like Scotland are off, so I'm missing a few goalkeepers here and there. So I'm not even able to play 3 lineups in under 23 this weekend, which would have been nice, kicking off the first weekend of that being a thing. But yeah, I think it's good. I looked at the divisions a few days ago, just as far as what prizes you can win. You can still win tier 1s and stuff in Division 3 and 4, at rare. There's still good prizes to be won, and there's sort of a a workings to get yourself up to D2 and D1 maybe eventually. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I did my Road to Glory yesterday, and I'm going to actually look in a minute now, because there was roughly circa 8,000 lineups in under 23 limited across the 5 divisions. So I'm going to count up in a minute and see what they are now. I assumed it was going to be around like 15,000 at this point. So unless someone wants to do the math for me, actually in the chat, saves me doing that. But I'm going to guess 15,000 because I think 8,000 felt low yesterday. And yeah, no, I'm buzzing for it though. It's definitely it'll take a few weeks to iron out. Like you said, it feels like everyone's in D1 maybe, and everyone will find their level at some point. I'm just excited. There's boxes, there's all sorts, right? So, and like the big worry we had, or not big worry, but there was a slight worry in that, like, it is the only global comp. So, the theory is, win champ cards through under 23 by using, challenger and contender cards. Now, we don't know how many of these champ elites are going to actually give away, but they're there in the prize pool. I know that doesn't necessarily mean all, everything, in Sorare when we're talking about prize pools, but they're there. Like, you can see those cards, that the big boys are up there, the Bellinghams, the Yamals. So, in theory that, you are able to win them. Let's just see how that actually looks on Tuesday. I'm really, really curious to see, what is given out in under 23. Are they giving out those elite champ cards, or they sorry, fell my light. But are they actually giving them out? That's the big question for me.
Yeah, I'm with you. And on top of that as well, we're also going to be watching out for the Japanese weather forecasts as well, all the way to the deadline show, because I've heard mentions of this typhoon everywhere now. So if you have J-League cards, man, it's just like deploy and forget. Like, if you are going to use them, if this is your only option in the region or whatever, and hey, what will be will be. It's one of these things where there's no chance in the next 2 hours you're going to find out anything material. But if anything comes out, obviously feel free to show us it. But yeah, we've got that. We've got Cecilia smashing it on a Friday as well. And yeah, love it. Harry boy, let's see the games. Who's going to be rocking and shaking the leaderboards this game week? Now, we've got the All-Star one here to start us off. So this kind of gives us a nice overview of basically like the who's who of everything, really, doesn't it? But
right.
I think we'll get into regions quite quickly after this. But this is very Sorare again, this kind of vibe, and it's very much the European season's back. When you see Arsenal are up there alongside Liverpool, I see Juventus creeping into there as well. It's funny how like some of the fixtures have went, obviously, because there's not that many absolute smasher fixtures, from Spain or England.
Not really, mate. No, I'd say, obviously the Arsenal one's an anomaly. Maybe the PSV one, but it is strange to see an away fixture at the top. Like, and even to add on to that, what have we got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 away fixtures in like the top 11, top 10. Like, that is quite unusual. Like, we don't know. We normally see 10 home fixtures at the top of this list. So yeah, maybe there is still heavy. Sorry, they are still heavy favorites. Like some of these, your Feyenoord's away to Pexwool, your Ajax is away to NAC Breda. Like, they're still good fixtures. But again, we're still in that European stage, Quinny. I think midweeks, where last weekend we saw some random rotations, which some people can foresee, some can't, but it's just part of the game. But we're going to continue to see that this weekend as well. Like, there's still games next Thursday, Wednesday, European qualifiers. So we're still in that weird situation where some of the Arsenal doesn't apply, but Ajax applies. I'm pretty sure they went through on pens yesterday. I don't know if you saw that, but that was mental. There was like 30 odd penalties.
Pass via, showing everyone what he's all about. That's why you buy my cards. That's what he said.
He's definitely behind that account, isn't he? The 220 passes. He's definitely mass selling them this morning, I think. But yeah, I mean, loads of aways, which is just weird. I don't know. I'm not, Gator guy special, but I'm not too in love with playing, away fixtures. But if that's all you've got, then what can you do, right? But like, I mean, I don't know. It's a weird opening. I can't lie. It's a weird opening sort of 10 to 15 fixtures there because of the heavy sort of away. The awayness of a lot of these fixtures. Like, I'm just not used to seeing that.
For challenger and contender, it is very much the dominant team in the nation that's springing up across all of them. There's no kind of like fourth team playing the bottom team kind of nonsense or anything. It is all PSV, Benfica, Feyenoord, Ajax, Sporting, even when you get into the other ones, Copenhagen, Besiktas, so Burnley creeping into that as well. But so yeah, it feels like it's going to be stacking City for challengers. And then do you want to flip on to contenders for 2 seconds just to see the teams that are at the top of that? Just for a glance. We'll start with Champ because that's the main show in town this weekend. But again, just the dominant teams pretty much, isn't it? Universitario, Zagreb, Zenit. It's just powerhouse teams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to think because who isn't playing this weekend in contender? Oh, obviously Scotland. I'm trying to think. Was there another one that I completely
Argentina?
forgot? No, they're in, to be fair. But I guess there's not that many good fixtures. But yeah, they are in. China are still in.
Yep.
I think yeah, you're right. I think it could just be Scotland. In challenges, we have that Jupiler League Pro special weekly. So
Yeah.
not that there's that many smasher fixtures really. So like, diluting the challenger pool or
Very
diluting
open, you would say.
Yeah, it's open, I'd say. Even taking out the Jupiler League boys, there's just not that many amazing fixtures, right? But I mean, Arsenal in a bit of a league of their own, right? Like 80% win percentage. That's a lot. And then the next game's obviously Liverpool, who are away. I mean, I know it's Ipswich, no disrespect, but yeah, I'm with Jesp there. I think that Newcastle fixture could be the really tasty one.
I think so too, because Southampton, from what I hear about them anyway, they're not going to be sitting in and defending this match at all. If anything, the absolute opposite. I do think the Arsenal one is a bit of, like, you called it an anomaly, and I think that's exactly the word to call it. So I don't think they're going to hammer Wolves. Like Wolves, like, you remember the first game of last season, Wolves v Man United. Like, they should have won that. They were very unlucky in the end. I think it was a wee bit of tomfoolery from the ref, a wee bit of robbery on the go. Onana situations ring a bell. I can't remember it precisely, but yeah, I know Arsenal are flying high and should be up in the top two again this year, but I don't think they're 80% on to beat Wolves, surely. Like, I suppose they are going to win, aren't they? But they're not going to beat them 5-0 or 4-0 or something. It'll be 1-0, 2-1, I think.
I don't know. I mean, I know they've just lost Neto, so like, I know he's not a defender, right? But like, as far as like them conceding, like who's Wolves' threat? So it's just Cunha, really. I can just think of off the top of my head. He's good. Like, he's not a bad player, but I'm just saying, like, is he alone enough to sort of wipe that Arsenal clean sheet? I don't know. I don't think they have enough firepower personally without Neto
2-0
right now. 3-0. Yeah, you could probably see 3-0 quite comfortably. But that could be enough, though, couldn't it? Like, that could be enough to dominate the leaderboards quite comfortably. We know all the Arsenal stacks. I saw Neto on Twitter yesterday. He finally caved, I think, with the Saka forward. I knew that.
If you've been watching Nep's content, by the way, he's been all Arsenal. He's been Arsenal daft. So yeah, he's went full in, and like, I'm sure he'll be looking at this and loving it. I'm sure all Arsenal fans are probably spitting their tea out at me saying this game will be rather tight. Maybe it is like 3-0. I don't know, but I don't think there's 3 goals in it between the teams, to be honest with you. And I just don't think it's got the potential to be a bit non-high scoring. But Liverpool, and again, Liverpool away to Ipswich is interesting because, again, similarly, like, the manager, like, is very well regarded, let's say, and he knows his team really well. They've done some business without it being spectacular. You've got a good feeling that he knows what he needs, and he's kind of identifying priorities to make the squad better. And Arne Slot in Liverpool, is a whole different kettle of fish to what Liverpool are, so. That, again, like, on paper, you can't not say, like, that could be 3-4-0, like, quite comfortably, of course. But if, when it was all said and done on match day 1, Ipswich were the surprise of the show, like, would you be big? How big of a surprise would it be?
Not like, just because of the away factor for me. I think there is an element of that. Like, I don't see any surprises in the Arsenal one, but yeah, I do tend to agree with you. Like, the Liverpool. So one of these big guns, whether it's Arsenal, Liverpool, even United, like some and Newcastle, but I don't think it'll be them. One of them's going to slip up. Maybe it's Tottenham Monday night. Something's going to, like, not go as smooth as you'd want it to from a Sorare perspective. Whether that's they concede a couple of goals, or like the main guy doesn't score, like a Son just like something's going to happen to where, like, it does affect the leaderboards in that sense. Is that Liverpool, like, not winning? Maybe, like, something's going to happen. I just don't see it all going like Arsenal 3-0, Liverpool 2-0, United 3. I don't see it. Newcastle like 5. I just don't really see it that happening. Something's going to go wrong. I just don't know what. Yeah, as none of us do.
Let's get into some of the lineups. So just before we move away from Arsenal, this is the projected team that we've got here on Predictorfy. You've seen it in the nice new shiny intro that we've made for game week 1 and beyond. But this is the team that's been put together, the expected team. Thomas Partey is 50% with Jorginho and Jesus behind him. And I suppose that means if Jesus plays, of course, he'll be up front, and Havertz maybe is not the false 9 that we see displayed here. But otherwise, the rest of the team seems pretty nailed on. Apparently, Zinchenko's been hot in pre-season, and will make it hard for Calafiori to actually make it doesn't look like he's going to start this game, certainly. And this is, like, with that Saka forward, like, this is such a stackable team, isn't it?
Now it is, yeah, especially in season. That Saka card is just a game changer, isn't it, for these Arsenal stacks? Because you can fit in Rice and Odegaard now, or if you want to go double defender, which I don't think's wise in a matchup like this, you're going to want Odegaard, Rice, and Saka. I think if you can, maybe Havertz, but probably not. And then pick your defender, pick your poison, and then obviously like that 5, the defender's negotiable. Like it could just do anything it wants. It could go off big time. And yeah, the reason for that is literally because of that Saka in season card. Like that's the only reason why this works now to the abilities that it couldn't before. I know we can go into Parma and whatever as well. That is a big one, but they're playing City. Like it's not an easy game. Like this is Arsenal stacks could sort of swipe the floor, I think, with the top of the leaderboards, and make it really difficult for anything else to compete. Yeah,
very easily. And if you don't have Saka, I've had this problem with Celtic, but in a kind of different way. But if you don't have a striker in your big stack or your team that is like affordable and like optimal, you kind of just need to go shopping elsewhere, sadly, which kind of does break up the vibe of like just watching the game and seeing how far you jump up the leaderboard. But it's one of those things you just need to maybe work towards. People are talking about how it's shocking Havertz isn't a forward. I can kind of get that at this stage of his career, certainly. But that might be something for yesteryear. But this is the Wolves team that's expected to play. We're going to see a debut for Jørgen Strand Larsen. Otherwise, the rest of the team, Yerson Mosquera comes back in from a loan. I think it was Villarreal, who was very impressive, by the way. I thought he was really good out there. And Totti is playing in centre-back. No more Kilman. And we're probably going to see a Premier League debut for Rodrigo Gomez. Now, I did a video on the channel talking about Wolves' transfer business, maybe once or twice, but there's... Wolves have signed a few like wee Brazilian guys that are like, watch out. And this Rodrigo Gomez is one of them. Now, especially from a Sorare perspective, because this is a guy that was last year, 2 seconds, wait, I go get him up. He was in Portugal. Oh, sugar. It's hard to find. I need to go to Wolves first, probably. He was in Portugal and he actually played like all over the place. And was pretty good without, where the fudge is he?
Estoril? No.
Maybe something like that, yeah. Oh, he's maybe still listed to that team, so I don't see him at Wolves. Yeah, so that'll be him. Estoril, it must be, if you've got it there.
He didn't have actual stats, though, which is weird. Like, I looked on Sorare data and nothing actually came up for him, which is... Was he a midfielder? Is it Bruno? Yeah, I've got him. Yeah. Is it Portuguese fella?
I think he's Brazilian. He may be Portuguese, but...
This guy, 24.
No, it's not him.
Really?
Yeah. Let me go and... I'll find this in a second, right? But I'll put this other screen back on. But this guy's pretty handy. And I think he's done well enough in pre-season. It would... 2 seconds.
I don't even think he has cards, to be fair. So it's...
Oh, has he not been carded yet? Because he moved quite early in the window. That surprises me.
Well, he's not on Sorare data from what I'm looking at Wolves' squad, unless it was that guy, which it probably isn't. So, no, I don't think he has,
I found him on Sorare data when I was looking at him. So I just need to find Rodrigo Gomez. And then who was he at before? Yeah, it was Estoril. You were saying that wasn't coming up with a page?
No. Not straight away.
I've got him.
You got him?
Oh, sugar, wrong button. But yeah, I've got it. So this guy... and again, in this match against Arsenal, right, I'm not saying he's going to fucking shred them, take them apart or whatever, right? But see, for a team that were like rotten, this guy was playing left mid, right mid, played both sides. I think he did. He played striker as well. And some of this is all right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He popped off sometimes.
Yeah, this is a wee guy that's got something about him. I didn't think he would be the straight replacement for Pedro Neto. I thought he'd be more of a backup guy, like a sub. Come on and just do his job for 10 minutes at the end of the game once in a while. But like he could be on for a wee surprise. I know you're saying no Cunha. It's maybe not even no Cunha, no party. It's not really like that. There's not that much going on here attacking wise with Wolves. But if you remember how they played last year, like that front four is just counter attack. They're going to be deep. They're going to be narrow. They're not going to give Arsenal as much space as they want. And if they turn the ball over, those four are going to run. you know. And when they've got that big Jorgen Strand Larsen up there, like he's out to impress as well. This wee guy looks the part. We know what Hwang and Sarabia are all about. Like, see, I wouldn't write off the clean sheet being Wolves being out of this game entirely for me.
No, I agree. There is firepower. I just, but 2 new signings out of the 4 there. It's just like, I don't know. If it clicks straight away, fair enough. But I don't think it clicks at Arsenal away. But they'll have points to prove. They definitely will.
Yeah. This is the Liverpool team that is going away to Portman Road for the return of Ipswich Town. Maybe some of you don't remember Ipswich being a Premier League team, but I just about do with George Burley. I don't know, but must be about 20 years now at this point. But yeah, so it's good to see them back. This is the first Arne Slot Liverpool team we look to see. Oh, Simikas is overtaking Robbo. That's given me some deadline drama. I was hoping for a good Robbo performance. That is a pain in the backside, but Quansah in over Kanate. Team that I think, no surprises here, really, is there? Maybe Gravenberch, but it's just really because of the lack of business that's been done in terms of the shape and where he's sitting in there for the first game of the season. But that's a strong Liverpool team. Again, very stackable with the likes of Soboslai. Alexis, I don't know if he's a good enough midfielder this game week. Maybe he is, but it's a strong team again.
It is strong, yeah. They got a lot of strength as well, like Nunes behind Jota, obviously Gakpo behind Diaz, like they've Elliott behind Soboslai. Like there's definitely, those 3 are probably going to come on their 60th, 75th maybe, to kind of do a bit of business late on in the game. But yes, it's a strong Liverpool side. It's just so many unknowns, right? New manager, okay, team's literally exactly the same, but setup wise, how is it going to look? And I'm excited to see how Liverpool do get on. I've got a couple of horses in that race as well, so we'll see how big Dom gets on in the 10. It looks like Slot does like him, and yeah, hopefully he can repay me maybe with some good SO5 performances.
Yeah, I think Liverpool could easily have the highest scoring game, and on paper, like if Ipswich turn up and are like that Championship team that come into the Premier League once in a while, like they could shred them. It's not off the table, but I've just got a feeling that this Ipswich team is going to be quite clever, and maybe they are fighting against relegation for the most part of the season, but I don't think they're going to be dead and buried. I think that's kind of the feeling I've got from them. When you get the wall of Muric, and then Ben Johnson, the right back, I thought was pretty handy whenever he got minutes. Obviously, he's not quite the top half of the Premier League level. Liam Delap's got a big reputation. Omari Hutchinson's got a big reputation. Something could happen in this, certainly. It doesn't need to be high scoring, but it probably is. And you're going to see Salahs and Trents everywhere, aren't you?
Yeah, I think it's tough. I do think it's tough to see past Liverpool winning this. And I'm going to say, yeah, I know that I said there's going to be an upset somewhere, but I don't see it being in the Arsenal-Liverpool games. I really don't. I think it's going to come elsewhere, whether that's United. Yeah, Cunha. Yeah, I've seen people say Cunha's fit. If Cunha's fit, he plays, right? There's no way Cunha doesn't play. Surely to God.
I don't know if it's disrespect from us, Tom. I'm just saying,
I wouldn't say that
it's
either.
unknown. It's unknown.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm not doubting them being good or not. We just haven't seen anything yet, right? So, yeah.
We'll go to Newcastle next, because I think this, like you mentioned, you already alluded to it, Harry, this might be the best Premier League fixture of the weekend in terms of stackability, in terms of competitions and all the rest of it, because Southampton are going to come out and try and do something in this game. And that really, like I said it in videos I was making over the summer, certainly and over the back end of last year, but for me, see, when you watch Gordon and Isak, like there's not many better partnerships in European football right now in terms of guys that are just on the same page, like they know the job, they know where they're both going to be, they help each other out no end, on the ball, off the ball. And if one does something, the other one does something. Like it's very well kind of correlated at this stage, I think. And, I really like this team. Bruno Guimaraes is obviously a household name and a bit of a favourite. And both the fullbacks, there's a lot of excitement around ahead of this year, especially if Trippier doesn't hang around in the case of Livramento. So this, for me, is an easy stack to go double forward with, which I love a bit of course. But the forwards can deliver, and it's not unimaginable that they don't.
100%. I was just thinking then, though, like I was building lineups again yesterday, and Newcastle stack this weekend is probably going to do quite well, right? The only thing I'm a bit worried about is like the stack is predictable in that like nobody's not playing Bruno, nobody's not playing Isak, Gordon, or both. So like the mid forwards like locked. It's Pope in goal. Where like my worry is like there's going to be so many similar Newcastle stacks. There's going to be similar stacks everywhere, but okay, not so much similar. I mean like exact It's going to be, Pope. To be fair, the defender is, again, similar to the Arsenal. You could mix a match there. There's a 1 in 4, right? But the mid forward is basically what everyone's going to run. And it's one of them where, like, it's just an XP race at that point. Whereas, like, at least with Liverpool, you could go Szoboszlai and McAllister. You could go double mid, or you could go double forward Salah. There's like 5 or 6 players you could choose from their mid and forwards. Whereas with Newcastle, nobody's choosing Longstaff and Joe Linton. I'm sorry. Some might go Murphy. And I won't dispute that. But like, if you've got Gordon and Isak, you're playing them both at the end of the day. Like you said, their connection is ridiculous, and there's no other good mid really. So like, you're gonna play Bruno if you have him. I just worry about that for Newcastle stackers, if that makes sense. Like, it's almost too exact to where you're not gaining anything really. Yeah, the differential's just not there for me. Yeah, it could come from the defense. It could, like, Hall could get 100 and everyone else played sharp. Like, that could happen for sure. But I do worry about, like, the mid situation, and even the forwards as well, because they are so predictable.
I think we'll go to the bottom and work our way up just with the other ones, and then we'll just kind of tackle through the leagues. So we'll go to Leicester v Tottenham. So I think Tottenham's got a good rating for this game coming into it, certainly. Leicester promoted, change manager. Steve Cooper, the former Nottingham Forest manager, is the guy in charge, if I remember correctly. And the team, when you look at it, like, this is the first time of me looking at it, like, it's not that great, is it? Really? Like, a few of these guys are fine, but when Harry Winks is your main guy in the middle of midfield, and I don't know, it just doesn't feel like a great team to me.
I mean, it's a lot better than Ipswich's team, if I'm being honest. Not that we're having to compare them, but like, as far as like Premier League names on that list, like, there's 7 or 8 of them there quite easily. Bobby Reid, Buonanotte, Winks has played for Tottenham, obviously, and less in the Prem, and Didi. The whole back four, I don't know much about this Atalanta kid, but, they're all, Premier League caliber players, where the Ipswich ones are a bit unknown, if we're being completely honest. So as far as the teams that have gone back up, I think they are, one of the stronger ones. I know there's only 3, but there's pace in that team for Taiwo, Mavidi. Like, there's some tricky players in there that won't be easy to defend against. And the midfield looks a bit weak if it is Winks and Didi and Buonanotte. Like, I don't know if that's enough to deal with Tottenham's sort of front 6 and stuff. But yeah, it is worse. I agree, Tom. Yeah, it's definitely worse, but it's still Premier League caliber players for 7 or 8 of those positions, if not more. I'm not saying they're going to survive, but they're definitely, Premier League worthy. But this is a really good Tottenham side, I think. Away Monday night, James Maddison, ex-club. Don't be surprised if Madders turns up big time there at the King Power. And
Slanky goal on debut is a guarantee, I think.
Yeah, little header, little tap in, just something easy where it just beds him in and then he's flying. Then it's like, honestly, I think.
See, if you're looking at that Leicester team, I think Slanky could get a hat trick in a game like this because
he actually could. Yeah,
it's a championship opposition in his eyes, and he did well in the championship for Bournemouth. He did really well. He also did a great season in the Prem last year, but Ange Ball's just total gung ho. He's just going to be up there for all of it. He could bag a few.
100%. No, yeah. Honestly, I think Solanke's going to be great, mate. I really do. Like, for what he did in a Bournemouth side last year, goals and assists wise was ridiculous for like a lower side team, and he's put around so much. Okay, there's more pressure now. There's big price tag, and those things can weigh heavy on a player. But I think he'll be fine, mate. I think he's come in and they know you are number 9. Like, we're trusting every ounce of trust where it's going into you. And I think he'll repay them. I really do. I think there's just too much sort of creativity around him for him not to succeed. Sorry, I really believe that. And yeah, he's not a magnificent football player, but he's an objectively very good number 9 in the Premier League. And you don't get £60 million moves for nothing. So he earned it. Like, he had like 24 goals and assists for Bournemouth. Like, you can't question it. It's there. So.
Yeah. Kulusevski, Maddison, and Son is some support act, eh? Like,
what more can you ask for, really?
All sorts of routes to go there.
Because like, Kulu doesn't really like shooting, so all he's going to do is just pass to Solanke. Okay, Son is obviously a goal threat, as is Maddison, but they are assist capable as well. But if that ball gets to Kulu, his first choice is to try and find you and pick you out. So for Solanke, that's perfect, right?
Yeah, it's a good one. So yeah, Tottenham could have a good game. I fancy that. Man City Chelsea, I think, is going to be one of the more interesting ones to watch on a few levels. We'll start with Chelsea just because they're at home. A few unknowns in the team. Obviously, Maresca leaving Leicester, going to Chelsea after bagging Poch, who's now away to Hollywood, isn't he? He's away to make himself famous now. Yeah. Like, Pochettino's just going to become Jurgen Klinsmann for me. Like, that's what's probably just going to happen now. Like, he's just going to be that guy that's just... Anyway, we'll talk about that in our time, I'm sure. But Chelsea, I think, like, have been everyone's favourite thing to watch this transfer window, just for, like, what the hell are they doing? What's going on? Who are they bringing in? Who are they selling? And, you know, ultimately, this team doesn't really look that different to last year now that we see it kind of laid out in front of us. And Chelsea last year, like, kind of huffed and puffed and never really got anywhere, but they never really, I don't know, it was weird. They got results I never thought they were going to get. And then, you know, but otherwise they just were very unconvincing throughout the season. So when we look at this team, do we feel that they're going to be a real threat for City? Could this be one of those games where, I can't remember if it was against City, but it might have been Tottenham, but Chelsea drew somebody like 4 each a couple of times. You know, it's going to be one of those games where it's just fucking end-to-end goals everywhere. I'm
pretty sure, I could be wrong here, so I'm happy to be corrected, but I'm pretty sure Chelsea, you know, historically don't do terrible against City for some reason. Yeah. Like, I'm sure they always give them a decent game over the last couple of years. But yeah, new manager again, Cole Palmer, ex-club. There's a couple of those situations this game and points to prove. And I mean, it's not a bad 11. Like, let's just be brutally honest. Like, there's some very good football players there that can change a game, quite quickly. No Rodri's a massive one for, Caicedo, Lavia, and Enzo to deal with. Like, that is a big miss. I know City can, I mean, they can't replace him, but they can obviously bring in, more, quality. But like, I think that front three is dangerous, Quinny. And Nkunku, Jackson's pace. I know he can't hit a barn door, but you'll get into good positions, and if you can just lay it off to Palmer and Nkunku to finish it, like, I think there's threats there. Like, I don't think this is plain sailing for City at all. It's away as well, which for City. So I don't see it being it's not a walk in the park. Let's just be honest. Like, it's not. Yeah. We can't disrespect Chelsea too much. Like, I think there's good players there that can really deal with Man City's threats and like out of possession as well. And there's a bit of creativity on the ball when they actually get it. Because that's the thing. Can they get the ball off City? That's the biggest question. If they do, can they keep it? Who have they got to keep the ball there? Caicedo, Enzo. Like, they do have players that can play. Like, there's no one in that 11 that is like scared to have the ball. There's no players that are just effective out of possession. There's players that can actually progress the ball there in the midfield. Lavia, we've seen it. I know he's injury prone or whatever, but there's good players, man. Like, I think this will be tight. This could be 0-0, 1-1, quite comfortably, I think.
Wow.
I think Chelsea could stifle them a little bit.
Mate, that front five, take Kovacic out the picture of the six. Fuck, man. I don't think you're stopping that.
I mean, you might not stop it, but do I see it being as effective as if there was a Foden in there? And, it's not as good as it could be. It's still elite, obviously, but like...
It's a big game for Enzo, isn't it? Because Lavia, I don't think expectations on him would be high, so anything positive is probably a win for him.
Right. Yeah.
Caicedo, you kind of know what you're getting with him, and it's not, obviously, he can get into the final third for some layoff passes and stuff like that, but he's not like shredding it. So it's a big game for Enzo because, like, the front three, like you say, is the threat, and it's just about how you're going to find them. Counter-attack's probably their best play here. Will Maresca do that? Will he try and be Maresca and try and pep, because that's just then, that's just when he's going to get a slap in the face, isn't he, off of the big man. Guardiola, Rico Lewis in this team as well. Like that, I do think, I make you right. I don't think it's going to be one-way traffic. I don't think City get a clean sheet in this, basically. But I can see this being like 4-1, 4-2, something like that. Maybe 3-3. It could be any number of goals in this one, but I think City are outscoring Chelsea. Robert Sanchez in goals, maybe Jorgensen. Fofana's back in town. What's the odds on a Chelsea defender getting injured before the 90 minutes is up, do you think?
Quite high. Quite high, right? 3 out of 4 of them are just walking casualties, aren't they, really? Yeah, it's high. I'd say it's high. Maybe even the midfield. What's the odds on Lavia going down injured? I don't want it to happen, but Jesus, he's had it rough, hasn't he, last couple of years?
Yeah, so definitely an action-packed one. Maybe I think Palmer's a safe card, especially now he's a forward. Like, he's super safe now from this game, as long as he's taking free kicks, taking corners, taking penalties. Like,
Right, which he probably will be.
he's just going to be climbing AA wise anyway. And then it's just if the decisive comes, which with him last season it was more when than if,
Right.
And that's why you want him as a forward, and that's why people are fucking paying all sorts for him. Brentford v Palace. Now, I think this might be depending on how some other teams shake out, but I wouldn't be surprised if this was the last time we've seen Brentford in the Prem for a little while. I think they've been quite slow in the market. When you look at the team, it's basically the same team, and it's only talks of maybe the front three strikers all going. They're at home. They're not bad. They're not going to be like catastrophic or whatever. But I just think like the team, the Carvalho boys come in from playing at Hull from Liverpool, which is a bit of whatever. But I just don't. But when I was looking across the Premier League, I thought, Brentford are just going stale. Like they're just going a bit grey, a bit just okay. It's still these guys. They'll get some wins and stuff like that. But I'm looking at them now, thinking they've stayed still, and in this environment, that's moving backwards. It's kind of where I'm at with them.
I think if Tony ends up leaving somehow, Saudi, those rumors and stuff, or wherever in the Prem, like that's the nail in the coffin for me to kind of strengthen your point there. But I mean, it's a good. Is that team better than Ipswich? Yeah, it is. Like let's not kid ourselves. Is it better than Leicester? I think they're comparable-ish. Tony's the outlier, right? If you take Tony out, then maybe you could say Leicester is like marginally better. But if Tony's in there, like he keeps them up for me. Like I don't think they go down if Tony's there. In my opinion, I think his goals would keep them up. Buemo as well. Like they've got players, but like you said, they have been quite stale outside of Carvalho, who I think is a good little acquisition. Like 15 mil, he's not proven Prem. But he's proven talent, and he's probably deserved a move like that because he is good enough to play Premier League football. I would say we just haven't seen it enough, similar to like maybe a Harvey Elliott, but Elliott's probably a little bit better. Hence why he's still at Liverpool. So it's an interesting one. I think Tony stays, that they'll be fine. But I'm not too excited on what they bring. Whereas Palace have been relatively busy. Yeah, I mean they kind of wrapped up a lot of their stuff, wasn't it? Quite early on. They brought Wharton in halfway through last season, and it's a solid side, right? Munoz, Kamada, Wharton. I know they're not all new, but Kamada is. Yeah. If they lose Gahey, though, I saw today 65 mil. Newcastle are sniffing. So that's a massive miss for me. Like, huge. They'll replace him somehow, but I don't think it ain't going to be Gahey, obviously. So that's a big miss. Elise's a massive miss. Let's not kid ourselves. Like, Kamada's good, but like, there's a reason why Elise's at Bayern, right?
Yeah, Elise's artillery. Like he's just
SO5 wise, like
shooting and crossing. Yeah, shooting and crossing from anywhere. So he's definitely not that same kind of guy for sure. Looks like Mateta's now back in. That's just changed overnight. So Mateta's back from Olympic duty. I think the really fun thing about this Palace team, but is like double defender of Mitchell and Munoz. Like, let's see how it goes in this game. It's probably a good game to see how good both of them will do this year. But both those guys really showed that they can break 70s and 80s in this system under Glasner, getting up and down the line, getting decisives, getting good 8-8 on top of it. And with some of these teams we've looked at, the defence is the biggest headache, So you're not even looking at Guy or Anderson at this point, because like Munoz and Mitchell, both of them can take you to 70 quite quickly from what they've done already. And the midfield is very well complemented. Eze, Kamada, Wharton, like all three of them are genuine 70-plus guys as well in the right environment. So like I'm way more excited about Palace this year. I think in this game, like it will basically be one-way traffic. I'm not sure if Palace will get a clean sheet though when I say that, but like I think Palace, for the largest part, I think Palace are going to score more goals than Brentford in this one, and a lot of these cards are probably going to do well. Debut goal for Kamada, I feel it, and I think the fullbacks could be peaky as well. I think Eze also had some links a week ago or something that he might have been going again. I think if he does, he's so hard to replace, I think.
Yeah.
This will be a good game for this weekend, certainly. Defensive midfield picks galore. Mateta's fine, obviously, but, he's still Mateta,
Somebody give me a bit of grief in the chat about how I put Salah and Nkunku in the same tier. I just think Salah regresses a little bit, and I think Nkunku improves, and they kind of meet in the middle. One goes from a star, one goes from a tier 2, and they kind of meet into tier 1. That's kind of why I did that in the rankings video. yeah, just to clear that one up.
Yeah, fair enough. Love it. Very good videos as well on Harry's channel over the last week or so covering that kind of thing. So if you like that sort of stuff, make sure to check it out. And I think West Ham and Aston Villa, two of the busiest teams in the transfer window, the derby of the claret and blue, or whatever whatever the colours are as well, is going to be, again, a really interesting game to observe, a very interesting game to watch and see how both these teams shape up. West Ham, Julian Lopetegui in town, and like they've done 4 transfers over the last week or so. Obviously, Kilman was done quite early in the window, but they've totally transformed their squad all of a sudden. Somerville doesn't quite break the 11 yet, but Fulkrug straight in. I think West Ham fans have been begging for an Antonio upgrade for as long as I can remember, you know. Guido Rodriguez on a free doesn't quite get into the team, it looks like. I am surprised that Souček gets in ahead of him, to be quite honest. And Wan-Bissaka's maybe not had enough time in the building to get in ahead of Kufal. But yeah, West Ham look really dangerous potentially now as well. Bowen's just been made captain. And again, when I was trying to forecast myself, like how Lopetegui might shape up and all the rest of it, I wasn't really too sure Bowen's position in this squad, because I wasn't, and I'm still not too sure on how Lopetegui is going to set up with West Ham. If this is the way he does shape up, it'll be interesting to see how it actually plays like in open play, because I don't think he'll keep Fulkrug as a lone striker. I think he'll try and keep Bowen. I think it will be the guy, but I thought it might have been Kudus, but I think he'll try and keep somebody else close to him as like a 2 up front almost, like an open play. I don't think it will quite look like this, which is again is why I'm probably quite surprised that Souček is kept in here. But yeah, Bowen's been made captain, high energy guy, done very, very well. And alongside Fulkrug, like if he is going to play alongside him, like Fulkrug plays really well in a partnership. He's way better in a partnership than by himself. So again, we're talking about stacks and all the rest of it. West Ham have got 2 great mids in Paqueta and Kudus. And if Bowen is the foil to Fulkrug, both those guys are very viable all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's loads of variation. Similar to like Liverpool, you can kind of pick anyone out of that sort of front 5 to be your mids and your forward if you want to go double forward, double mid. Yeah, Fulkrug needs runners around him. He needs people that are busy, and Bowen offers that. Kudus offers that. Paqueta's busy, but he's not like electric busy, is he? He's not, you're not going to be running off number 9s. That's where Bowen and Kudus comes in. I think it's a balance. It's a good balanced Premier League team. Kilman's a massive addition there. I think, ahead of who was it? Kurt Zuma maybe at one point, or again, or they brought in Todibo as well. Like they've got good strength now at centre half, which is massive. Kufal's still a bit of a weakness for me. I know Wan-Bissaka's come in, so they're looking like a really good 11. Like I'm not saying it's top 4 worthy, but it's like a top 8, easy top 8 team if it all goes to plan, right?
Mate, they're not in Europe. You know, and you just need to look at Tottenham's season last year, not in Europe. They were sitting second, third for like at Christmas and stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if West Ham did something like that, really, you know, like it's not
genuinely, yeah.
unimaginable, you know.
Because the season they won the Conference League, like they kind of didn't do great, did they, in the league? If I'm correct, I don't remember where they finished, but similar to like a Villa this year, like it's going to be tough to compete in the Prem and then, in Europe as well. So yeah, I think West Ham, man, could be really good this year. Real good.
Could be sneaky. But Lopetegui, every time I've really paid attention to him being a manager, his teams aren't exciting generally. Mm-hmm. Like they're quite like they'll rigid. Beat somebody 2-0, 1-0, you know, like so let's see how it shakes out. But this is the Aston Villa team that they're going to be hosting. New signing Amadou Onana comes into the team. Morgan Rogers looks to be playing alongside Ollie Watkins. Back 4, basically the same as last year. Team not many changes. Onana, Rogers also came in the January, but Onana's really the only new face into this. And I think you really know what you're getting from this Villa team, don't you? Like it's going to be 4-3-2. They're going to be all over the pitch. They're going to be turning the ball over quickly. And Onana's got some real running power in him, like some real running power, you know. So if he's picking the ball up from deep, like, you know, that's why I'm surprised. Like you look at the West Ham team, like Ward-Prowse is going to roam and want to be on the ball. And Souček isn't an out-and-out, like, hatchet man of a centre defensive mid. You know, he fancies himself more as like a Fellaini, you know, a big guy that just wanders into the box and does stuff, you know. So I'm surprised at that. But anyway, I think, you know, like this midfield, like Aston Villa could probably, if they get this right, they could probably control the centre ground. They could probably control midfield where they kind of shape. And Onana could really stand out.
Yeah, I think athletically, out of all those mids we just saw, including Tielemans, like Onana is, you know, way ahead of Ward-Prowse, Souček, and Tielemans. I don't really rate Tielemans personally. Like I'm quite surprised that Barkley doesn't kind of walk into there. Like I think Barkley's, I think Barkley's a lot better than Tielemans personally. Like I really do.
So I'm kind of with you that I'm not totally sold on him being like a top player, right? But see, the one thing I've seen from him at Villa when he's playing in that deeper of the two, he has played he's played kind of not far off a false nine for Villa once or twice last year. Like he played right high a few times. But see when he plays really deep, see the passes that he's got in him.
Oh, he's got wicked passing range. Yeah.
He's got some slicers, like really
so does Barkley though, I think Barkley's more effective. I think if we're dominating games, like you want Barkley on the ball in and around the box, threading passes through to Rodgers, Watkins. Like he can find those little slips into the box and bang, it's a goal. Like I just think, I'm not saying Tielemans doesn't possess that type of quality as well. Like he does. He got a wicked shot on him. Like we've seen some, he scores bangers, and he's probably more of a goal threat maybe than Barkley. But as far as like an all-round midfielder goes, like physically as well, I think Barkley's a better player for me. Yeah, that's funny actually, Jack. Tielemans is a poor man's Enzo. Their body types very similar. They kind of run the same, technique wise. They are quite similar players actually. That's actually a really good shout. I've never even thought of that. Graham says he's one pace. Yeah, like I don't mind players who are one pace if the one pace is effective, but I just don't think Tielemans has ever been effective enough for Villa in the Prem ever. Like I don't know, and I think Barkley was very good in a poor Luton side, which earned him his move. And I don't know, I'm just surprised at that. I am. But then you've got Maatsen, who could come in for Digne, obviously new signing. He could be exciting, a bit more running power than Digne. Maybe deliveries are quite similar, I'd say, but Digne is obviously a lot older, more experienced. But yeah, I'm excited. Villa have a wicked team. Like the 2 nines are like carbon copies in a way. Like Rodgers is a baby Watkins. Physically, I think he'll score, I reckon he'll score nearly close to 10 goals. I'm going to say Rodgers. I think he's really good.
I think I like Rodgers a lot. I think I'm surprised to what I thought I seen them do really well at was like bringing the ball from midfield into attack, like driving. Like he was really good at just getting by people. Yeah.
He's
and
so big. He
yeah,
just gallops, and you can't get when you're 6'3" and you can run. Yeah, you're good. You can run as quick as he can with the ball. It's you can't really knock them off. And I just think physically, Villa are looking really good. Like Onana, Rodgers, Watkins, Tielemans is the sort of physical letdown there as far as athletics go. But Bailey, McGinn, you've got a lot of runners there that can do both sides of the game. And I mean, they're Premier League players, of course they can do all this. But Jack says, don't forget Edison Alvarez. That's a good point. Edison Alvarez to come into that double pivot maybe. Who does he come in for though? Do you think it's Ward-Prowse or is it Souček?
Well, again, people were telling me that he'll play both of them, and if he does, fine. But even that's what just makes this even more perplexing to me is in the absence of Edson Alvarez, he's playing both Ward-Prowse and Souček. I just can't see it personally, but what do I know?
I mean, they've played together a while, so it probably is that for now, but I can see it changing for sure.
Fair.
100%.
And then, a team that we've often said last year, you probably wouldn't stack, but you'd take a player or two from on any given game week, depending on how it's shaking out. And I don't think I'm ever going to change that feeling, SO55, when it comes to Nottingham Forest. It's very much the Hudson-Odoi and Morgan Gibbs-White show. But Elanga Wood, I seen a big link for Danilo this week. I can't remember who it was, but someone's in for him.
He's a good player.
But yeah, these guys are, a little bit of whatever. I'm surprised they stayed in the league. Obviously, fair play to them and all that. But yeah, team's basically the same as last year. Milinkovic just came in from Fiorentina. And otherwise, it's as you were, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Hopefully they have a fit Sangare. And yeah, I think he can be effective in the Prem, if he's fit and stuff. It's a decent team. It's not terrible, but it's not sort of eye-catching, is it? If we're being honest.
And Bournemouth making some headlines recently in the transfer window with some of their signings. Julian Araujo not quite ready for this game, it looks like, but we see Huijsen, I think that's how you say it. Somebody told me Huijsen doesn't make the 11 either, despite everyone kind of falling over themselves about him, which is weird. And then Kluivert, Sinisterra, Semenyo, no Solanke replacement, Ivan Nielsen in the building yet. Unal is still not fit. So, although I think Bournemouth could they could have a good season themselves. Like, it's maybe they're not at their best self yet. Mamardashvili highly rumoured to be signing for Liverpool and going to Bournemouth on loan or something, perhaps. So, wee bit up in the air what they're doing for goalkeeper. But yeah, this might be a good week for Forest to play Bournemouth, perhaps.
Yeah, I'd probably say so. Yeah, you've caught them on a Solanke 11, and again, yeah, is their team much different? Really, probably not.
Yeah.
Like it's just two teams from last season, really. All I see there, and they'll just scrap it out, and it'll probably be a close game. I don't think Forest walk all over them, but
I'm with you. And then probably the most, like, especially when you look at the table, the most kind of overlooked team I think coming into this season is Everton, because like they did so well to avoid relegation and finished really as high as they did ultimately with all the flipping penalties that came their way and everything as well. And some of the rest of 5 performances were quite credible, of course, but I think the business they've done in this window. Jake O'Brien has made the 11, but there was another centre back they brought in as well. Oh no, it's not. It's just Branthwaite. I'm thinking of. Yeah, it's keeping Branthwaite, but like they're big levels up in centre back. And I know Dyche is all known for the 4-4-2 and being defensive or whatever, but like having centre backs that can play differently allows the rest of the team to play differently. So O'Brien and Branthwaite are definitely like next gen centre backs. They've came through the academy system where it is all about like possession-based football and doing all this stuff that's more in their DNA compared to the old guard that he's got here. So I'm rather excited for Everton as much as I can be excited for Everton. There's nobody here that's really that appealing to me, but like I think that's good business. Pickford is really good SO5 wise. There's just no getting away from that. Had a good Euros by all accounts as well. And at home, like Everton are no mugs when they look like this. I think.
Yeah, they're solid. I think from a Sorare perspective, if I'm asked to pick a couple of players or, what my strategy would be with Everton, I'd probably stack defensively with them. Like I wouldn't be, I do like McNeil and whatever, but like, I don't, there's better options obviously. But if we're talking like you said, Pickford's one of the better keepers in the league, SO5 wise. You pair him with a Branthwaite or O'Brien or a Tarkowski or even both, like at home, like those cards can do 80 plus. They could do that. Do I trust in the forwards to like equal that out? I don't know if I do. So that's where I'd be like, split stacking. But yeah, Everton are fine enough. I just worry about like the cool, like there's some decent players there, but again, I feel like they're a little bit stale for me. Calvert-Lewin, like, is he gonna? I don't think he was great last season, was he? I know he was injured a bit, and Ashley Young's like 40. I don't know. There's bits there that I'm still not convinced on as far as like, they could easily regress a little bit. They'll always be defensively solid because that is literally how they set up and how. They kind of go into games, but I'm not high on them, if I'm being honest. I'm really not. But we'll see.
Fair enough.
I do like them defensively, though. I do. Centre backs and
yeah, I'm with you. They won't score many, but they probably won't concede.
Yeah, they're 1-0 merchants, and they really.
Yeah. And the St. Pauli manager coming into Brighton to replace De Zerbi, I think makes me hesitant to be like super high on Brighton. But when you look at the team, like, they should be scoring goals every week, really. Like, they should be right going for it. Milner back in midfield finally. He could be cheat code.
Out of my Milner. Come on.
Yeah, he could be quiet cheat code, Milner, couldn't he?
I mean, depends what role he plays, but yeah, if Weaver, I don't know, will Weaver be allowed to sort of bomb on a little bit because he's got a wicked shot on him, Weaver, to be fair, from watching him in his final days. But I don't know, will Milner sit? But Milner's got legs still, like he can still run, like. You can't really doubt that. And yeah, I don't know. The front four is amazing. Like Mitoma, João Pedro, Minter. Okay, Welbeck, but he's solid enough. Like he's better than a Calvert-Lewin still for me. Like I'd take a Welbeck all day over a Calvert-Lewin as far as how he can drop in and hold up the ball and he still scores goals. He puts himself about. But yeah, João Pedro, I'm really excited about. If he plays in that 10, Quinny, I think SO5 wise, we could see a bit of a beast picking it up from the midfielders, driving, getting shots off, winning pens, scoring pens, probably like no gross now. I am interested to see who ends up taking over the corners. It probably is Barco if he starts, which he is on to start this game. But I just like pens. I think João Pedro probably gets them anyway because I think he did have them last season. But yeah, I'm sure Barco will be over corners and free kicks from at least the one side with his left foot. They might want to change the angle and go whoever, on the right side. But I think the business of Brighton are doing is obviously quite late, But Jesus, man, they could have 3 or 4 stars, like actually kind of not walk into this side. Yeah, in possession, Barker will be a midfielder, right? But, defensively, are we saying Milner actually plays left back? Be interesting to see.
Yeah, let's see how it shakes out.
In possession, I get it. Barker can do that, but...
Mitoma is an L15-0.
Is he really? Interesting. Yeah, he hasn't played, has he, since his injury?
So I'm looking forward to seeing a bit of that. See how Mitoma gets on. And the last Premier League game we've got, and we'll get back into champion proper, is Man United at home to Fulham. And I recalled the Man United opening game of the season last year with Wolves. This could be the exact same game. Like, I don't think Man United are going to have their own way of it for the most part. They might still get away with a victory in the end. Mazraoui's in the building to start this game for a debut. We're seeing Amad Diallo play. Marcus Rashford seems to be... I don't know if Xerxes isn't fit. If Xerxes fully fit, this is hilarious, to be quite frank.
I don't know if he is, Someone in the chat might let us know. But yeah, I'm not sure, actually. I think Rashford played up front, didn't he, against... What did he play off the left against City? I didn't watch the Community Shield, I'll be honest, so I don't really know. I did see that chart. Yeah, Ten Hag come out and said, like, we're not 100% ready or something. Like, he literally said those words, I'm sure.
Yeah, Xerxes not been in the squad for all of pre-season, so yeah, he's nowhere near. Fair enough. So Rashford up front really, I think, nerfs this team. He might still score a goal or something, but just watch him. Like, Amad Diallo was rubbish in the SPFL, which everyone tells me is what it is. So it's just always funny seeing him still being contracted to Man U and getting minutes. So yeah, Fulham, like, were no mugs last year. Emil Smith-Rowe apparently is catching fire since showing up there, so... Andres Pereira, former club. Anthony Robinson, who we know was very good. Leno's a big match goalkeeper as well. Like, this could be a fun banana skin this weekend.
Yeah, if there is going to be one, right? Going back to what I said initially, like, this is probably it. I don't necessarily think United like lose, but I do think they concede. I do think they concede. I'm going to say United like 2-1 or something, maybe. So that is actually not as bad as a banana skin as it could be. But yeah, I do worry about the clean sheet a little bit for United.
Odds on a penalty for Man United.
Oh, pretty high, isn't it? Bruno ball.
Yeah.
I'd give you, it'd be odds on, I think. Less than even money.
Yeah. Man United to get a penalty in this game, I think.
100%.
That's the way it's going to shake out.
I think there was a Southampton game that we didn't do. Someone said in the chat.
Did we miss Southampton? I beg your pardon. So Newcastle we did.
Well, no, we did that, yeah. But I don't think we showed Southampton's.
So we didn't. I'm so sorry.
That's a good point.
So sorry. So sorry, guys. Sugawara's in the team straight away. THB's finally made it to the Prem. Finally. Well done, THB. I hope he has a great year. I hope he shows his true colours, like shows his proper ability. Joe Aribo starting, Adam Armstrong starting. I don't know. This team should do. They should put up a good fight, but I don't know. When I see this team laid out in front of me, like Brereton Diaz, I know they only signed recently, paid a couple of quid for him. This feels like they're asking for trouble, really, aren't they?
I mean, I don't think it's terrible. I don't think it's amazing, but I think it's enough to sort of get by. Like Diaz, Armstrong, like, I know they're not amazing, but there's goals there. There is goals. There's an attacking threat. I just worry about them defensively because they weren't good in the Championship defensively, Quinny. Never mind now in the Premier League where they'll get punished, twice as often. I do worry about that a little bit. I really do. McCarthy in goal, like he's not even the recognised number one. If I know Bazunu's actually not much better, but pick your poison with those two right now. They are looking to bring someone in. Cameron Archer might be coming in as well. I'm not too high on him, to be fair. But Sugawara, like there's glimpses. There's SO5 promise there, maybe.
Yeah, I did see there was some moves actually happening there as well. Archer and somebody else on the way to Southampton. I forget who their name was. I think it was
Leslie Okachukwu, whatever his name is, from Chelsea.
Yeah. So a wee bit of reinforcements in the engine room. They definitely need it. Downs and Smallbone, and I don't know either one of them to really comment on it, but they don't strike me as a Premier League engine room, personally. So
yeah, not really.
So we'll hop over to Serie A and we'll have a peek at some of the big movers and shakers we've got over there, and we'll cover La Liga in full. And again, we'll kind of do the same with France. There's no
We've got
Germany.
an hour to the deadline, by the way, so we just spent an hour on the Premier League, which is hefty.
Yeah, I suppose we did, didn't we? It's a bit chunky. Sorry, guys. Couldn't help it. It's just a lot to go over. First game of the season. It's all predictions and forecasting, isn't it?
Yeah.
So let's have a peek. Juve, I've been quite excited for it in the preseason. They've not quite done the amount of business I think they would have wanted to have done by now. Still in defence, they're missing somebody, you would say. But De Gregorio's in there. Kefren Turam, Douglas Luiz. I think there's somebody else that's maybe not available for this game. I don't know if I'm just remembering correctly, but I think Juve could be a proper stack this year.
Yeah, they are edging that way. Did we get cards this year? I don't think we did we?
Nah.
No, but they're all like,
yeah,
most of the cards. You can get them, you just won't get the collection bonuses from, Juve, but you can get them elsewhere. I mean, they're fine, aren't they? I'm not too high on them, if I'm being honest. Like, Thuram's good. Locatelli's back in, which is, I used to rate him back in the day. Hopefully he can stay fit. But yeah, who else would they? Oh, they kind of want Conceição, don't they? The winger from Porto. I've seen that rumored. And Galano, one of the two. One of the two they're interested in. But yeah, I don't know. I always kind of like forget about Serie A for SO5 for some reason. Oh yeah, Koopmeiners is on his way. That's a good point. Is Nico Gonzalez going to go there? Oh yeah, the winger Nico Gonzalez. Yeah, I thought you meant the Porto kid. Yeah, winger Nico Gonzalez makes a difference to this big time over Yildiz. Yeah, if those come through, which it looks like they will, then that is a better team. Yeah, way better. Koopmeiners and Nico.
Yeah, makes a big difference. Sure. But I think like Motta's going to get them playing some proper football. And like Locatelli's a handy player as well. He's in the team. Douglas Luiz, somebody mentioned he might be on penalties. That could be cheat codes. Like if he's, especially when Koopmeiners comes in, like that will probably change. But like this feels like there's a real team here again all of a sudden. And they're playing Fabregas's Como, who have been mad busy in the window. Their team maybe doesn't quite look as glamorous as you would maybe thought. I don't know if everyone's ready to kick off yet. But Belotti still not got a card, but he's in. Cutrone is up front as well. Strafreza, your boy, on the wing. Brunoder, he's got a card from somewhere. Alberto Moreno in at left back. Pepe Reina in the nets. And we don't have Varane. That's who we're missing.
Yeah, Varane. I'm sure they signed a couple of other all-star boys. Who else did they get in? I can't think now. Well, they were going to get Pau Lopez in one day, but that fell through.
Yeah, he's at Girona now.
Yeah.
Maybe there's somebody else. But this is the Inter team that looks set to go. And I think Inter are just so reliable to do Inter things when the team looks like this. Like, really. It's just, especially away to Genoa, who just about saved off relegation last year and then sold their keeper to Inter. They went and got Galini in to replace him. And they lost Retegui, who went to Atalanta. So there's been a wee bit of a cull there. They've got Malinowski in, but from Atalanta, it appears that could be great if he plays every week. Because he's just a guy, he could be on everything.
He's like that SO5 player who's just never actually like had a season of being an SO5 player, but he has, like, he is if you wanted to mold an SO5 player, like attacking midfielder wise, like he is it. It's never worked out, is it? Nah,
but he's so good. He scores bangers as well.
Like his left foot is actually like the most dangerous left foot I've ever seen. Like the power he can get in his shots and stuff is like actually like mind blowing. Like he is ridiculous, but it's just never. It's a similar one a little bit to Oscar Rodriguez, the Spanish player.
Yeah,
He showed.
He's amazing.
So much promise, but he just jumped from Spanish club to Spanish club over the last few years. But there was a season where he had a wicked season. I can't remember who he was for. It might have been, was it Getafe? He had a good season for somebody, and it was like, oh, this kid could be unbelievable. Like came from Real Madrid and could be like the next sort of SO5 player. But yeah, some of these just fall through the cracks, and it's just part of the game, right? They can't all be amazing, but yeah. Oh, Federa is they brought in. Nice shout, Bean. Did you see they bought Aliou Federa from Genk, Quinny? Como, that is.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Nice.
Shock
surprise. I beg your pardon. Sorry, guys. So, yeah. That's the teams for that one. Anything else in Italy really jumping out? We've got Napoli under Antonio Conte. Raspadori up front. Cravadonna's in town. Billy Gilmore might be on his way to Napoli, by the way. I don't know if he gets into this team. Lobotka had a great Euros. Hard to see him getting dropped. And Zambo Anguissa is a different guy to Gilmore. So it's hard to imagine that's the spot he takes. So anyway, that'll be fun to see. But I think like Napoli, you know what you're getting with Conte. It's going to be like a mini Inter, I think. Very good defensively, and the attackers are set to do the decisives.
Yeah, I do struggle to see where comes in there, to be honest, because Lobotka, I'm saying Gilmore is very similar to Lobotka, but just nowhere near as good. So he'd have to be a bit of a rotation player, right? Like he doesn't walk into that side, like you said.
Yeah. I think so too.
But they've kept hold of their boys. Is Oshiman leaving? What's going on there?
Yeah, it feels like the swap deal to get Lukaku there is progressing. You know, I think that's what's going to happen. Osman to Chelsea and Lukaku to Napoli.
Speaking of Hellas Verona, Quinny.
What's that? Oh, of course. Yeah. See, you got Mazovic.
He's there, 60% on. He's my new boy. I'm a Hellas Verona fan now.
Loving it.
Oh, Suslov. I do like a bit of Hellas Verona. I was saying in my Discord yesterday, back in the day, I had a little Hellas Verona Super Rare stack. Giovanni Simeone. It was Antoine Barak or Antonio Barak, the Czech Republic attacking midfielder. Yeah, I had a little bit of exposure to Verona back in the day, but moved on now. But yeah, Seslov's there, isn't he? Duda, Sidar, a couple of players. And then Martin Freeze, left back, whoever the hell that is.
Yeah, who knows? That's a new one.
Big Martin Freeze.
We've got Lazio playing Venezia. I'm interested in because I've got a few Lazio. I've got Tati basically, but there's the Lazio team. They've made a few signings as well. Chuana, if that's how you say it. Noslin coming in from Verona as well. He'll be a part of a wee Verona collection if you went classic, Harry. Guendouzi always mystifies me how many teams play him. But the rest of it, Zakanyi is a great player. I think he's good. Tati took penalties in pre-season. Tati could be a wee cheeky Immobile in the making, maybe. That'd be fun.
Got a wicked overhead kick, didn't he, in that one game?
Yeah. Highlights been great from Tati.
Yeah.
And they're playing this team, for what it's worth. Venezia, with their cool kits.
Yeah, I don't really know too much about any of them, honestly. Genuinely. Alfred Duncan, maybe, but... Oh, that's Busio's team, isn't it? Yeah, Busio. And...
Yeah.
Didn't Tesman leave? Yeah.
I think he was meant to go to Inter, and then it fell through.
Yeah. I did it. Fair.
This is the Roma team. We've got Angelino in the house. Love to see that. Evan and Dika in the building. Enzo Lafi. El Shawari, never quitting. Artem Dovbik. Matthias Sula. De Rossi's Roma could be a fun team to watch. I don't know about SO5. Like Enzo Lafi and Angelino on paper could be like if they just never give the ball away, share set pieces well enough. You know, like that could be a mad stack, couldn't it?
Yeah, and feeding Dovbike as well. Like they've got a big target man to feed, and yeah, if goals go in, there is going to be assists for Pellegrini's, Lafis, and Angelinos, 100%.
Be Selic as well. He's good. We like him. And they're playing Cagliari.
Yeah.
Who signed Laperto? He's good. Yeah, I don't really know much else about this team, but yeah, Cagliari. I don't know if Ranieri's still in charge there or not. We've got the return to Serie A of Parma. This is the Parma team. Zion Suzuki in goals. Dennis Mann on the wing. I think he did well in the Euros, didn't
he? Yeah, he looked pretty good in the Euros, actually. Yeah.
And Fiorentina, Moise Keane, whatever you want to call him. Yeah. David De Gea not getting in over Tresciano.
It's weird. Well, maybe it's, I don't know, is that a fitness thing or do you think he actually doesn't start?
But by the way, for Serie A, Mandragora and Amrabat in the engine room, like Fiorentina might be no bad. It's the goals I worry about. I'm not totally convinced on. Beltran obviously got a bit of a poacher in him. He's not really there for this game.
If they lose Nico Gonzalez, that's a bit of a big miss, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I can see how they could regress, but Yeah.
I think, yeah, we could see that happen quite easily. Sorry, mate, 2 ticks.
That's all good.
Yeah,
And
they'll get...
everything is fitness.
Yeah, fair enough. Atalanta, who we've seen in the Super Cup, this is their team expected to play Lecce. Ben Godfrey doing his best job to mark against Vinny and Mbappe and all that on his debut. Talk about getting chucked in the deep end, eh? Pasalic might now be a more regular starter. I like Pasalic. He could be decent.
Pasalic. Had a wicked header save, didn't he, from Courtois? Did you see that save? Oh,
yeah.
Full stretch, wasn't it? They've got Goodmanson. Ah, wow. They just signed Goodmanson, apparently.
Ooh, that could be fun.
From Genoa.
Yeah, highly rated guy. I think Tottenham were interested in him for a minute.
Yeah, they were. You're right. He's a good player.
Right, let's take it to... Oh, let's have a wee quick peek at France. We'll put PSG on. So this is the PSG team. Barcola, Ramos, Dembele, the front three. Fabian Ruiz isn't in midfield. Did Fabian Ruiz leave, or is he just not back? He's just not back,
No, he's alive. Yeah, I just don't think he's sort of going to start this one because of, being back and stuff.
The left-back situation seems to be moderately up in the air. I'm hearing that Hakimi, something or other. So, yeah, some bits and bobs going on. We're not really too sure how the back four will shape up. Hakimi's definitely not playing 2 positions. I think this is probably going to be like Beraldo or Pacho. It's probably going to slide out, isn't it? It's probably the most likely thing to happen. Whichever one's the lefty or whatever. João Neves will make his debut. Kang-In Lee doesn't look to start. I think he'll be effective from the bench anyway. I'm playing him in a decent team. And they're away to Le Havre. And this is the Le Havre team with nobody in it. I know, certainly.
Le Havre.
And we've got Brest playing Marseille. This is the Brest team. Bigger Jork back in France. He was aerially unsurpassable in France, getting all the headers in. Big Chris Wood, if you like. So he could do good. Le Cardinal, Chardonnay, Lala, Amave. That's a decent defence in front of Bizot. Not a bad team, let's say. But Marseille with De Zerbi. El Wahi. This guy's been on the radar for a while. He's finally made it to a big club. Mason Greenwood in support. Valentin Carboni, big fee attached to his signing. Luis Enrique is shown well in spells. But Ismaila Kone has looked good in pre-season. I've seen he scored a wee goal. He drives across the pitch. He's got high energy. And Højbjerg in this team could be like, he could be a 40 AA guy in this kind of setup. In France, Merlin at fullback, Valverde at centre-back, Rulli in goals. This Marseille team could be a lot of action.
Yeah, some good SO5 potential there. Greenwood being...
Oh, wow. Carboni injured. Kone injured.
Wow.
So, Amin Harit. We'll have a bit of Amin Harit.
Harit comes in, yeah. Derek Cornelius is a weird signing. The Canadian international. I watched him in in Copa. Yeah, interesting one. Yeah, I mean, they look fun enough. There's definitely some players there.
Yeah.
So I was just fixing a few little kinks in my team.
Aye, something similar.
What was I going to say? Yeah, Champ has really taken up our time today, Quinny.
Yeah, again. I think it's just because it's first game of the season as well. It's
yeah.
kind of like, like you don't really know where everyone's at, so everyone wants to see the predicted teams. How are people shaping up? This is the Leo team expected to play Remy Cabella season. Angel Gomez, I think he could do really well this year. Munayer in the team, that could be fun.
I really like Angel Gomez. I think he's really underrated.
Yeah, he's like a proper like European player, isn't he? Like as far as like, I know he's English in that, but his style of play, it's very playmakery,
Yeah, like he doesn't fit. Well, he wouldn't have fitted a traditional sort of English academy, being like 3'5", but like the most technical lad by a mile. But yeah, I guess we've sort of gone over that stigma a little bit now. But very, very good player.
Ito and Nakamura on the wings for this one. In opposition, Jovian Diouf in goals. There's some heroes in this Ream team. I wouldn't totally write them off. And then Monaco are playing the returning Saint Etienne, and they've got Balogun and Mbolo in attack. Nice kind of support cast here with Akalushi, if that's how you say it, and Minamino in the wide areas. Chao Henrique back in the building. Kelleher, Vanderson, these guys will be familiar to you. Philip Cohen in for the injured Majeki. So that's a pre-season development for number one goalkeeper. And St. Etienne's returning team. Do we know many of them or any of them?
Yeah, Davidashvili, there's a few good boys there from sort of League 2. But Abdul Hamid, he was a good player last year for Reims. And they've obviously signed him.
Stish's boy.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. They might be okay.
This is the Nice team to play Auxerre, newly promoted Auxerre, I'm sure it is. Dante, still in business. Yeah, do you remember that mad video he did when he was saying I'm signing on and all that, and he just loves it. You know, so
I've got myself into a Nice stack right now. So
I've got a Cho. I've got a Sociedad Cho.
Nice.
So I'm all about a bit of Nice at the moment. Jonathan Klaus.
Yeah, that's a nice one. I need to pick him up.
That's big time power.
I like him a lot.
Montpellier, Strasbourg. To see Strasbourg, the Chelsea B team. Anyone? Caleb Wiley, Gail Dewey,
Seydou So, Bakwa. They've got a few good boys.
Yeah. They're playing Montpellier. Their team's on the screen because we've got Teji. Teji SO5 debut. It's going to be a cooker.
How long have we waited for that, Quinny? Genuinely now.
And Lecomte. Lecomte is not a bad wee. I know he's on really good cards and all that. We don't really care about him as much. But yeah, Teji for sure. Been waiting for that for ages.
Yeah.
So this could be a fun one.
Yeah, I think he'll make a bit of a difference. I think on the leaderboard, Big Teji. Now he's carded. I'm excited for that.
He's going to be like the placeholder for the Chinese card, isn't he? Like on the leaderboards, you're still going to have the Teji, with the Teji factor now, rather than the, that way you used to look at guys and go, who the fuck does he play for? That's just going to be Teji now, all of a sudden, random hundreds and such. Next up, we've got Rennes playing Lyon. Now, the Rennes team is like quite exciting. Grombeck coming in here, Guiri and Blaz in attack. Ostergaard in from Napoli. Assignon starting this one. Mandanda starting. That's good for me. Thank you. Yeah, it's an exciting team. And Lyon, Mikaturadze in attack. Saeed Ben Rama, Ainsley Maitland-Niles. That's a nice wee attacking quartet there with Taliso in the kind of the linchpin position.
Yeah,
back four, I'm not quite sold on. Goalkeeper looks shaky, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know much about the left back. Niakate is decent, but obviously played Prem. It's fine. How Kakure has never got a move, by the way. That one's one of the weirdest ones, I think. He just always seems to get overlooked, doesn't he? Like, it never seems to actually... to be honest, I haven't even heard one rumor about him leaving. Yeah, Bouger gone.
Oh, yeah.
Gone to Saudi, hasn't he?
Has he?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Saudi definitely play SO5, don't
they? One of either Saudi or Dubai, one of them.
Yeah, they definitely play SO5 over there. No doubt about it. Right, let's jump into La Liga. So I think we'll start with the big three, and then we'll kind of scatter around from there. So Valencia playing Barca, maybe the better of the big three games. Well, maybe Villarreal, Atleti will be decent, but Valencia, this is their team as they look to host Barcelona. Very decent team, very similar to last year. A lot of kind of homegrown academy players scattered throughout here. Hugo Duro, Hugo Guillamon, Almeida, Diego Lopez, Jesus Vazquez, Dimitrescu in for Mamadashvili, Pepelu. Had a great season last year. He's in. Rafa Mir, I've never been much of a fan of, but he does kind of get the job done for these kinds of teams, so he might be handy. But yeah, decent team. Barca, under Hansi Flick, with a lot of different injuries and situations on the go, are relatively unrecognisable, aren't they? With the likes of Casado, Pau Victor coming in here, and Inigo Martinez back in defence, and Christensen in defence, period. It's a bit of a different Barca.
Yeah, I mean, Araujo being injured is a massive miss defensively. Kobasi was at the Olympics, so the team will probably look a little bit different. But yeah, Pedri's training, but I don't think he's ready for this game. And yeah, I mean, Pau Victor, I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't, it ain't Real Madrid, put it that way. That's probably the easiest way to explain and describe Barca right now.
No, because This is Real Madrid. And by the way, your boy Rodrigo, Harry, what a game he played in the Super Cup.
I saw. When you said he kind of made the goal, I looked on Twitter and you mentioned I watched the highlights and yeah, he did well. Tackled. Yeah, he tackled whoever it was and yeah, sort of set up whoever to put in whoever scored this. Oh, it was Mbappe, wasn't it? I think got the second. Yeah, I think he'll be a mainstay. I think there was a few doubts maybe on, with Gula and what they can do. So many different things is the issue, but with the City interest and everything, it kind of felt like it seemed like he wants to stay, and he probably wants to stay because he's knows he's good enough to kind of play for this for this sort of Galactico team. And if he's on set pieces and stuff, like I said, it could just be frightening. It could actually be frightening. The issue is like he is going to be one of the first subs, 60th, 70th most of the time. So that's the issue with these Real Madrid boys is like someone's getting dragged at 60th, 70th because there's so much good quality on the bench. Yeah, I think Gul is not a winger though. That's the thing. He doesn't offer you that. He doesn't offer you that sort of that pace that not that Rodrigo's rapid, but he's not slow. I don't know. It looked like it worked well first game, so we'll give it a try, isn't it? See how it works. But it won't work every game. There'll definitely be scenarios where they might go a bit more defensive, and they'll play Modric in there, and if Valverde will play on the not on the wing, but you'll vacate that right channel, and they'll have four sort of centre midfielders at that point, and Mbappe and Vinny kind of do their thing. But yeah, it's mental, isn't it? Like if you look at that team compared to Barca's, like I know they've just signed Olmo to be fair, but unbelievable. Squad's just ridiculous.
Top tier. And Rudiger loves getting see, the thing with Toni Kroos, right? Toni Kroos is brilliant and we all know why he was brilliant, right? But the one thing you could guarantee about Toni Kroos is once to twice a match, he's going to shoot from 40 yards. And like 2 or 3 times a season they go in. That's just the way cruise control works. But Rudiger's kind of taken up that spot now of where like he's just random. Like it's a wee bit different for him because he's not shooting from 40 yards. But once or twice a game, you can guarantee Rudiger is going to dribble by some guys and get into the final third and try and take a shot like from somewhere like that. Yeah, like so I kind of like what Rudiger's bringing to the party. But Mbappe for me on the Super Cup, like Vinny and Rodrigo, like obviously last year they played kind of as a two with like a diamond midfield behind them. They were both just playing like that. The exact same way. You wouldn't even think anyone had changed. But Mbappe was in the middle. Sometimes they were kind of like, they were shuffling around all sorts. Like, he was left, he was right. Like, it went everywhere. And I think it was more they were trying to just find, where does Mbappe fit? That was the way it felt. Because, honestly, I made a tweet about it. He was not on the same level as Vinny and Rodrigo. He was remarkably a level below them, off the ball, on the ball. Even dribbling, running by people. Like, Vinny and Rodrigo were still cooking Atalanta players. And Mbappe, he nutmegged a guy on the touchline or something, but
yeah,
honestly, like, he didn't, honestly, had, for me, everyone's pure, like, talking about him afterwards, like Ancelotti and Bellingham, and I'm like, Jesus, man, I didn't see that. For me, anyway. Obviously, in training, he's probably going to get better. It's Mbappe, he's a World Cup winner, but, like, I was like, whoa. I'd be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. I had to look at his PSG record. I think his worst goal tally at PSG was 18. I wouldn't be surprised if he had that sort of year at Real Madrid, like, where it was not like, oh, he scored 50 goals and won the Ballon d'Or stuff, where it's like people make excuses for him, where it's like, oh, it was after this and it's his first season in a new country. And I feels like, I don't know, that was the impression I got from one game, which is the first game with the team. There's a lot of room to grow here, but it looks good for this shape, but it looks even better for Vinny and Rodrigo for me.
Interesting. I think on the 50 goal thing, the only thing that like why I'd agree with that, not the only thing, but one of the reasons why is because the other decisives are going to get shared around, right? Vinny, Bellingham, Rodrigo, Valverde, they're going to get a bucket load of goals themselves. So, it's not a one-man band, unfortunately. Like he won't get a 50 goal because like it's just going to get spread around, right? So,
well, they could score more goals as a team.
Yeah, but that much, like if he gets 50, what does Vinny and Rodrigo get really? Like, I don't know, 25, 50. Like, is there that many goals to go around? I don't know. Maybe there is, but
if they're that good, like, and the thing was like as well, like Rodrigo wins the ball back, and if you watch them, that's the main thing that I'm maybe kind of sticking on here. But like, Mbappe has no appetite to win the ball. He has no appetite to harass the opposition. Mate, Benzema did it. Everyone else has done it for Ancelotti. Like, so I don't buy that.
Rodrigo does that for them. So why, does Bellingham, does does Mbappe need to do? Like, has he been told? Because I can imagine if Ancelotti's told him to do it and he's not done it, then that's a problem. But if you haven't been told to do it, then it's one of them where, like, can you expect him to do it? You know, that's my only pushback on that.
He's still got a bit of that kind of PSG
Massive
attitude.
timeness.
Kind
Yeah,
of needs to shake off, I think.
it's Mbappe though. Like, you know, he is massive time, and you know, I mean, yeah, it's a weird one. I am interested to see how it looks, you know, domestically and stuff.
The last game of the big three we've got is Atletico Madrid, which is the team on screen now, away to Villarreal. And we've had some last-minute adjustments to this, certainly. Witsel, Lenormand and Dave in the defence. Barrios is coming in here over Riquelme, I think it is. Reinaldo's been moved into left wing back, and Lino has been moved into support attack in place of the incoming Arana, Spider-Man, Julian Alvarez, when he gets into town. Griezmann's here. I think this is his last season at Atleti. I think he'll probably move to America next summer. But he's definitely going for... Like, this team really want a Champions League. That's the main thing they want. But La Liga, like, with Sorloff up front, like Atleti could win the league. Like, that's not a stretch at this point.
Yeah, with the forwards they've brought in, yeah, you'd have to say they're going to be a better attacking team. They brought in Lenormand as well, who should... I don't think he's that good personally, but he does definitely improve them. I just don't think he's amazing personally.
He's very Simeone.
Yeah, he is, isn't he? He's robotic and big and strong and heads everything. I get it. You know, he does fit the mold there, but is that midfield good enough? Oh, okay, DePaul maybe, but like Koke...
Koke's past it.
Yeah, I think he's treading water a little bit now, and they've really improved like striker wise. I just don't know if they've done. I know they got Veerman and they've got boys to come through, but I just don't think the midfield's good enough to compete personally. But up front, yeah, no doubts that sort of triangle of Griezmann, Alvarez, Lino, or Soros is going to score goals. It really is.
Yeah, and they're playing Villarreal, who finished the season quite well last year. Danny Parejo's ever present alongside Jerry Moreno, Arnaut Danjuma in the squad. Pepe not quite broke through yet. Yeremy Pino back in the building. Elias Akamak. Sergi Cardona, your boy in at left back. And Diego Conde, a new goalkeeper in the absence of Philip Jorgensen, former Getafe number 2. So I don't think this is going to be a great game for Atleti. It's going to be a hard one. Sorloff playing his former club on match day 1 feels like he's scoring, but doesn't it?
Probably, yeah. That feels like a bit of an omen, doesn't it? You'd have to say so.
Just going to run through the La Ligas in order now, just to wrap it up, guys. But my boy De Vicas is now on 70% for Celta, which is great. I know a lot of you guys love a bit of Aspas on 90%. Defence looks rather weak, and it's Villar that's in at the moment for, I think, the injured Guaita, so watch out for that. Swedberg is a guy you might want to watch out for, Harry. I'm sure he's still U23, but he's had some little bright sparks, and if he's going to be trusted in... The thing with Celta Vigo over the last 3 seasons is they've been very defensive, and if this is the sort of shape they play in, a bit more attacking, that's Swedberg. He's somebody to watch out for. They're playing Alaves, Luca Romero, who again came out of Argentina with a huge reputation. I think Lazio signed him at 15 or something like that. Then AC Milan bought him off Lazio, and I think AC Milan maybe still own him, but he's now at Alaves on loan. So we're waiting to see if he can do something. Konechi here, who I think came in from the Portland Timbers from the look of the picture. Severa was a good goalkeeper last year. Antonio Blanco, I'm a fan of, from Spain under 21s, former Real Madrid player. Decent wee team there. We then get your boys again, Las Palmas, or Yas Palmas as we're calling them now. That they've got Ollie McBurney, and he's not made the squad here, but Scott McKenna in the team as well. So Las Palmas, Jasper Killison makes his game as well.
It's a funny one, that, isn't it? The Ollie McBurney move, just random as hell. I guess McKenna is, I don't know, just really weird.
It's brilliant, but here, by the way, see if McBurney scored 15 goals this year, I wouldn't be surprised. Just for the pure meme of it.
That would be something, wouldn't it? Jesus.
He's in Gran Canaria, living his best life, playing football. Maybe away from home they're rotten, but McBurney got a significant amount of goals. Like, when I see Muriqi and Budimir, like these kind of guys doing well in La Liga, like they can get to around the 10 goal mark quite comfortably over the last couple of years. I think McBurney could do something similar. Moliero on the wings, obviously a bit of stardust. Sandro Ramirez, a wee bit of a guy that's been there, done it. Marvin we're fans of as well. Mika Marmol is the future. And they're playing Seville And this is how they look to line up. New signing Sol from Atletico Madrid is suspended from last year on yellow cards or reds or something. I don't know, but he's not making it for this one. Pique Fernandez comes in. Duque is in. The Spanish Tony Watt, Isaac Romero keeps his place in attack. That's all there is to say about Seville, I guess. Osasuna made a good signing in this summer window. They got on loan Zaragoza from Bayern. He's not made the team. Euros hero Budimir leads the line. I think they've lost a midfielder, so I'm sure they had a good midfielder that's not here. The guy, Aymar, that was at the Euros, he's or the Olympics. Yeah. He's not back yet. Lad. Yep. Sergio Herrera gets the number one job from match day one. Catena is a decent defender if you needed one. And then I think this is the best rated game in La Liga. It's Real Sociedad at home to Vallecano. And this is the way they've got the team shaping up. Now, I do love my little Spanish source, so I'm just going to double confirm that because I don't think I quite agree with Becker starting. I think it will be Barrenechea. Otherwise, yeah, I think the team's pretty spot on. Brais Mendes is a great captain pick. Oyarzabal is the national hero, as is Zubimendi, having just won the Euros. They'll be coming back. Sociedad players that won the Euros, etc., etc. So I think like they could come home to like a sort of hero's welcome here. I do think that's the only chance of Marino playing this game. It does feel like he's on his way to Arsenal, but just to come back as Euros champions to play a home game, maybe Marino has features in this game somewhat. But I think Oyarzabal, who's also won penalties, I think he's nailed on to score in this game. The defence is a bit patchworky. Javi Lopez is a new signing. Sergio Gomez doesn't quite make it. But Pacheco, Aritz, it's a untried, unplayed centre-back partnership in front of Alex Ramiro. And I think it'll be Barrenechea in front of Becker, personally, that starts this one. But again, with the sub-rule, I think like Sociedad can score 3 in this game. And with 6 decisives on the table, I think like they're going to fall between the players you would imagine they fall between, really. I don't think there'll be many surprises in that sense. Mm-hmm. Sergio Camelo, the Olympic hero, Sergio Camelo starts for Rayo. Otherwise, Isi Payazon is the main guy in the team. Lejeune, not too bad either. And yeah, that's that. Valladolid Espanyol is the last game we've got here, I think, to round off La Liga. And then we've got some deadline drama to contend with, I'm sure. The Valladolid team is on screen now for you. Karl Hein on loan from Arsenal or transferred, I don't know. But where's he from again? Is it Faroe Islands or Iceland or
Finland? I can't remember. No,
Finland, is it?
Estonia. It's Estonia, isn't it?
Estonia. Yeah. He plays for whoever he's a nation of. Boyomo, who's a guy that I found on La Liga 2 scouting when that license first came on the platform. He's finally made it into the big leagues. That's good to see. And yeah, I don't know anyone else in this team. But they're playing Espanyol. This is their team on screen now for you. Gregera, fan of him. Not great on SO5, right enough. The Olympics guys aren't back yet for the goalkeeper. Peri Mila in attack with Yave Puado. And yeah, I think that's La Liga rounded out, Harry boy. Yeah, like Leganés, I don't think I showed their team, so here it is. Soriano. There we go. You going to say something, Harry? Sorry.
No. Yeah, that's all the big leagues done, right?
Yeah, that's us.
Okay. I've got a few bits I need to iron out here.
Just going to put some teams on the screen quickly. There's AZ. Here's PSV. Ajax.
Big Ajax.
Twente.
Looks like Basagli, like Brighton are really looking to get him in.
Are you doing some deadline drama, Harry boy?
I'm just swapping a few bits around, but it's on another screen, to be fair. So I'll show it in a bit, but let me.
Yeah, I think
get it.
There's Porto. The Porto team on screen for you all. Don't think there's many surprises in that from last week. Sporting away to Nacional. That front three again. Zeno de Bast looks to be keeping his place. And then Benfica. It'll be interesting to see how they're lining up. Pavlidis. How did Pavlidis do last week? Did he rinse?
No, he blanked.
What about Bestie?
Yeah, they lost, didn't they? They lost to Famalicão. I mentioned it, didn't I? I said,
wow.
Guess who scored? Zaidu
Yusuf.
Of course he did.
Oh, that's
90th
incredible.
90th minute. They beat him 2-0, I think, in the end. I think he
That's
scored the
brilliant.
second. I
I
know,
love that.
mental.
Imagine you still had that, mate. That'd have been some
I
weekend.
know. That'd been class. That would have been unreal.
There's the Braga team on screen.
What was I going to
Midgetland. I knew there was something else. Wanted to check. So here's the Midgetland team on screen. Copenhagen. No Larson this weekend, but everyone else is kind of in. Bromby. Yuito Suzuki's in. Only 60% right enough, so it's not a smooth sailing. Galatasaray. I'll finish with the big Turkish guys. Here's Gabriel Sara. That'll be his. Didn't start last week, did he? Or did he?
No, he came off the bench, I believe.
Fenerbahce. Man City have agreed West Ham compensation for some guy. And then we have Besiktas, Ciro Immobile and Rafa. How did they do last week, Harry? Did you know?
I can't remember if Immobile. Rafa scored, or he got a decisive 100%. I just don't remember. Don't remember what happened with the striker.
Fair enough. I've got a bit of deadline drama I think I need to get stuck into. Thanks to the live chat, a few of you were shouting at me. Zerdan Shaqiri's moved to Basel. I managed to get an in-season version of him.
Did you?
So, in-season Shaqiri in Basel. That'll be a cheat code for Contender. I hope anyway. So yeah, I don't really know where to start with my teams and my drama and stuff like that. I know Robbo. I need to deal with Robbo, don't I? So was there anything else? Duvikas is on to play. Edward isn't on to play. Who was the striker? We think Cunha might come in. And yeah, so Robbo, I definitely need to ditch. Edward, I need to ditch. So I think I'm just going to delete that last champ team altogether and rebuild it, and then replace Robbo with Nkunku probably. We fancy Nkunku be decisive capable, don't we?
I mean, it's a tough game though, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
I think he is in general, but I don't know about this sort of. Yeah,
I've not got too many spiky players at this stage of the build, so I think I'll just have to suck it up and deal with it. I fancied Robertson. I've renamed almost. Oh, sorry, I've not even got the screen on. Apologies, guys. So this is the last squad I need to put together. So I've got Oblak, Robertson. I can't call upon. I was looking at Julien, but he's not in the Montpellier team. It seems we've got Joki Anderson for some safety. We've got Lenormand for the stack with Oblak. I've got Hamari Traore, who's got a better game, but as a fullback and could be a pain in the backside. So no great defensive shout here. Joki Anderson away to Brentford and Lenormand away to Villarreal.
Lenormand probably. I'd assume so anyway.
Because it's his first game, it's kind of hard to know. Let's go for it. Let's just do it for the simplicity of the play, I guess. Zubimendi looks to be my midfielder in this just because he's nailed, and I'm hoping he can scoop a lot of AA, but this is like the end of the build. You know, this is my last team that I'm picking, essentially. So that's the caliber we've got to play with. Yes, we think Cunha might play against Arsenal. It's not mad exciting, to be honest with you. I still have a Barra and a share that I've not used yet. I wonder where my Becker is. Have I used Becker? I put Barra and a share in. And then Olmo from the bench. Do people think he's coming off the bench? I don't think he's registered in time. I think that's the problem.
Yeah, I don't think he's in, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think he's registered. If people are saying he's coming off the bench, then I would think again about that. Double check the news. Feel free to update me, of course. So yeah, I think I went with Lorente for security. I had Riquelme as a bit of an option as well, but if he's not starting, I'm less in favour of that. Joki Anderson for double. Where the hell is that Lorente went? Maybe I need to refresh the screen. I'll show you my team, guys, and you can tell me what you think of them. We also want to look at the price pools, Harry, and see the numbers. I've got some pieces going into the cap mode. Oh, that's what I've did, is I've put some guys into cap because to try and win some like stuff to give away for cap 250, because I don't think the price pools are that great. I don't think I'm going to do that great in it. But if I win some stuff, then maybe it's some giveaway fodder, if it's some tier 5s or whatever, you know. Obviously, if I get anything incredible, it won't be the case, but it's just in general. And do these things give essence, these divisions? They don't, do they? No boxes, just cards.
Yeah. Well, wait, which ones now? Sorry.
Cap 250.
Oh, yeah, just cards, yeah.
So these are this is my debut in La Liga for FC Barcelona, and my top Super Rare team, Harry Boy, is getting called the Mbappe Hunters. That's what we're going for. We're chasing in Mbappe. And it's also Sociedad for Super Rare and for Rare, which is quite fun. Same goalkeeper as well, which is kind of fun. Very similar teams for the most part. Taki Kubo in one, Hamari Traore in the other. Distinct difference in quality there, you'd probably say. But I'm quite excited for the La Liga comp. I'm in D2 for both of them, so I'm a wee bit upset at that. No D1 placing for me. But I suppose that means all the Real Madrid and Barca guys will be up there. So
probably, yeah.
My best team being in D2 is probably a good thing. And then I've got my whale killer team. I've got my street team for Super Rare Champ. Llorente's in this team. I think I went with safety. Is there someone that might be able to come into this team now? Everyone else was seen as projected to start, which is lovely. But is there someone else that could come into this? I've got Christopher Ayer. I don't think I would bring him into this. Pepe from the bench against Atleti. I'm not a big fan of that. And yeah, I don't think anything's kind of came out of the deadline. I do have Baranachea. Yeah, I think I should put Baranachea in there. That makes a bit more sense. Double forward. And then, so I've got a rare Baranachea I can still slide into this team. It doesn't really make a difference. Or it does a wee bit, actually. I've got 38 points. I think I would just put Baranachea into this just to... Or Edward, maybe? Let's put Edward into this. He comes off the bench, who cares? Or, I feel bad as soon as I do that. We'll put Baranachea in, and we'll see if we need him or not later. But yeah, so we upgrade on there. Baranachea Super Rare coming into the street team. Barcelona ball and Kunku Matoma midfield. Angelino, Tati Castellanos and Rulli. Feels like a fun team. And D2 and Champ, but I'm not that excited that I'm going to do great. But as long as it does well. We've got a little foundation team going out and limited with some odds and ends. Larson isn't on to play, so I don't know if that means there's any changes to be made with this crappy team anyway. Let's see, we've had Magno there. Turnbull? Is Turnbull on to play? Vata?
No, Turnbull's not.
And I don't suppose the other guys will be either. Let's have a wee check, quick sneaky peek at Watford, but Coventry, I'll put that on screen so I know all you guys have got Coventry. There's Coventry. Middlesbrough and Derby. I'll just put them on just because they're here. Kenzo's playing, Ozo's playing, Aidan Morris is playing. But who's our way to check? Oh yeah, Watford and Stoke are playing each other. Good. So Stoke, no Bosan Lawal, fine. Watford, no Rocco Vata, fine. Okay. I don't think there's really much choice here. Just Larson on the bench. That's fine. Just leave that. And with all that contender, that team's fine. Don't think I'm going to change that. My wee Celtic feeder team, Rakitic and Teixeira in midfield, Andrade and Bukovic, a wee guy. Oh, Jesus, I'm on the wrong screen. A wee guy. My first guy I crafted, Harry, out the factory, is a defender that plays up front who scores 8 every 7 games and 35 every other time.
So it works. Semi-works.
And I've got a D1 team going into under 23 that I've named GU2, which, for anyone that cares, a team I used to coach or whatever. But 15% Magno Cho for Nice, which we think's a good game. 13% Guardiol, 12% Tani, 12% Kang In Lee. Quite excited for under 23s and how they rock out. I've taken anyone
out. That feels strong, mate. That does feel really strong.
Yeah, I quite like it. In D1, can we see the head count now at this stage? How do we look at that?
You should be able to just click on the lineup and it should show you.
So is this 572 for D1?
I'd assume so, yeah. Yeah, it is. I've got 527.
What if you look at, is it this bit? Yeah, so let's change it to D1. Yeah, that's one thing I wanted to do. I wanted to look at La Liga numbers before we get into the game week. So La Liga Super Rare. It says 26 up there. Is that for D3? D2, 26. D1, 26. Yeah, what's the deal with that? How do you actually see the number for... Is it 26 in every division? Is there some mathematical miracle here?
No, I don't think it updates you. Go on to go back to select the competition, I think, if that makes sense, and like do it through there. So click on one of your lineups, if whatever one you want to look at, and then go to view leaderboard.
52.
And then it'll tell you, so 52 there, 39 there.
There we go. So 26 was the bottom one. 52 for D2. Right, 52, and what we get? So top 25%. We need to get into the top 12 to get a box, basically. Top 13, something like that. Only top 4 get a card. Very slim. Let's look at rare. Leaderboard, you say we click on now. And then D1, 242 entrants. Cards go down to 16th. It's not amazing, but the box percentages will be decent. 500 in D2, top 25% for a box. So that's getting into the top 150 odd or so. That's fine. I'm quite excited for the rare one. Rare could be fun. Getting essence and getting cards. I think there's a puncher's chance for some of these divisions, perhaps. But I was really interested to see how some of these numbers shake out. Super Champ, 107 in D1, 226 in D2, 170 D3. Interesting. See how they rock out. But yeah, I've got this team to build. So I've got All Black, no Robertson. So we're looking at Jokey Anderson away at Brentford or Lenormand. I'm going to go with Jokey Anderson, actually. I just think he's a wee bit spikier. Brentford maybe score a few less goals than maybe Villarreal could. Villarreal are no mugs. Zubimendi is the mid. I have not got Barrenechea. So who would my striker be? I could use Werner from the bench. I could use Edward from the bench. I think that's the sort of... Is that better than Barrenechea? What were you going to say, Harry?
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if... Like, Werner will come off the bench. I just don't know how long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've got Llorente as the fifth man. Yeah, I think Llorente as the fifth man is fine. He's not great. Neither is Zubimendi, but it's Division 4 I'm going to put this team into. I'm going to try and get it promoted. It's just the only objective it's got. So yeah, I think Werner comes off the bench almost certainly. It's just a minute count thing, isn't it? Same with Edward. If Mateta's just back from Olympics, but it's kind of similar to Alistair Johnson. What I was kind of thinking about him when he came back from third, fourth place playoff at Copa America. I don't think Brentford are that. I don't think they're mugs where he's definitely going to get a goal if he plays. Whereas Leicester, as we've seen, are, I don't know, Tottenham could get at them, couldn't they? I think we'll go fair enough.
Yeah.
Cunha's playing Arsenal.
Moranchuk has received his visa for Atlanta.
Oh, that'll be really good. That will be really good. If I got anyone in training I want to call upon real quickly. It's just that Barrenechea and 250 that I think I maybe would I would rather have Barrenechea in this team, I think, wouldn't I? Ultimately, rather than that 250 thing. So let's put Barrenechea in here and be done with it. And then we're going to go back and fix 250 now. And yeah, I don't mind this being by comparison suboptimal play. It is what it is. I'm getting two big mids in with a cheap defender. And I could play Edwards up front.
That works. I think he's on to play, isn't he?
From the bench, probably.
He was 60% on one day on predict.
No, it changed to Mateta.
Got you.
So, but yeah, maybe that's, let's see, as a wee bit of last minute. But no, I think that fits a bit better. That feels a bit better. Captain Santi is cool as well. Awesome. Yeah. Buzzing about that.
I need to do a bit of training before we...
Let's see your screen, Harry boy. What are you rocking?
I need to get training done first. I'll have to show you after, I think. How do we even flip and do training? So here... Discover new competition. Is it a new comp? I don't think it.
Classic and all the way at the bottom.
There it is. Let's get these done. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not too confident about this weekend. Just with like the European rotations and stuff, I'm just a little bit worried about how all that shakes out, to be honest. But I don't know. It will be fun. Will be fun. Throw some of these in.
I decided to do my training. It was one of the first things I done because I knew I had so many no-game players with like Celtic not playing, and then my Girona guys playing midweek. So I just put all them set at training rapid, just so then I know, right, fine, I'll just play with my players. If any of that makes sense.
No, it does.
Kind of butchered going through some of my teams just for this new layout because I didn't want to look at the cap ones first, and also we finished with them. We've looked at La Liga and the champ ones were all fine, but yeah, it's kind of I do kind of like it. It's just when you've got those blank spots of the teams just always kind of hanging about willy nilly, it's a bit annoying.
Mm-hmm.
I quite like the UI. Apparently, the UI is going to change again, if I understand properly, but
Interesting.
I don't think it's that terrible, is it? Did they not say they sacked a team and hired another team? Is that not some people were talking about on content somewhere?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was rumor on the street, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm just excited for the MLS to get back personally, though. Like
Back into Challenger.
Yeah, I really am missing that really right now. If I want to like compete across, 3 or 4 or 5 lineups, I definitely need my my MLS boys to come back big time. So I wonder, because with the button, like I've inputted all my lineups, but it didn't give me a notification that like, because I had a few cards that were like listed for sale, but I guess they just completely wipe them off for sale.
So the button worked here.
Like the button worked, but yeah, I didn't get anything to say like, oh, your cards aren't for sale anymore, type of thing,
Hansen is not match fit.
Yeah, this is training, by the way, lads. This is not.
I thought you maybe referenced them somehow somewhere else just for a second there. That's why I thought I'd better shout that at you.
Yeah, Hansen's still working on his old fitness. Throwing these in quickly. But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited, but like I think 504 is when I'll be like really excited because everything's back. I've got, just way more options every, MLS and Scotland.
Well, will it be 504, Harry? It's more, is it game week 3?
Yeah, I guess it is, isn't it? I guess it is game week 3. What's happening with Owen Beck? Are you lot signing him or what?
It doesn't feel like it.
Shocking.
I think we could still, but I wouldn't rule it out. But depends how cheap the team get if we don't keep spending money like we did with Adamida, which is my concern. We've spent our big money transfer on him, and now we're going to go and get like McKeown and Beck or something like that.
I just
don't mind Beck overall, but
yeah,
they just don't make the team better. It's just squad players.
Right. I can show you my teams now, though. I think I've done all 5. I did hit the threshold, the last ever threshold.
Well done, Harry. GG's.
With a 17. I was destined for top 10, but Sagano conceded 3. So they were 3-0 up as well. But it worked out. I bought in Bartra and Sagano for the match day, and yeah, it worked out. Little tier 4. Yeah, Jupiler League Pro. I'm gambling on Big Henrik starting again. Cap 250s. This one won't actually be a team because Kopens probably doesn't play. Nishikawa got a red card last game, so he's dead. So backup comes in, but I think there's worry that game might not even go ahead. So Cap 250 is just an absolute shit show. I do have a starting contender goalkeeper in Luigi Seppi. Tier 4 win. L15 a 0. So that works this game week. Salernitana at home. So, but yeah, I'll probably look to sell him at some point. So I obviously don't play contender. I've got in-season champ D2.
Ooh, what's the head count like in that?
210 for 40 prizes. Not even that good, to be fair. I mean, it's okay, but and then I've got a D1 classic. Could have gone into Prem with Diaz, but I prefer to go Militao, I think, and just throw it into. I don't have a D1 Prem. I only have a D2, so threw him into there.
Is Verbruggen not on?
No, Verbruggen's injured.
I thought I'd seen Verbruggen.
No, that's been a thing for weeks now.
Fair enough, man. Oh yeah.
Challenger in season D3, trying my luck with my Dender boys, with Matson hopefully playing D1 in D1 Classic. A couple of good players in there, maybe Aylin, Timber, hopefully he's fit. Simsia's 50-50, I think. I don't know if I'm going to risk Simsia. I am going to risk Mertens though, maybe for my sins, but little Westerlo stack, but they're away to Ghent, so I'm not too high on that. Greenwood probably doesn't start here, so that D2's not as good as it kind of maybe could be. Little D2 challenger here. Costa, Connor Roberts against Cardiff. And then under 23, I've only got 2 rares, 1 super. Kind of doubled up on a couple of these players like Danilo Vega, Rodrigo.
Yeah.
Banking on Zaya Emery doing pretty well maybe tonight. And then, a little D2 lineup. Croatia, though, could be a bit of rotation, so I'm a little bit worried about that. And then I just put a D4 in with that goalie probably doesn't start, so maybe scrapes a box if I'm really lucky. And then, my road to glory. So, I'm not as full as I could be lineup-wise. Like, at best, this should look at, like, 2 supers, 3 rares, like 3 actual rare lineups at under 23. And then, loads of challenger lineups that I'm missing out on because, Leagues Cup and lack of MLS. But no, I'm excited. I am excited.
Teams are looking good.
Yeah.
What would you say is your big hope of the weekend then out of those?
Big hope.
For me, I'm all about La Liga.
If Genk, if I get the goalkeeper right for Genk, this could actually be quite nice, actually, in the Jupiler League situation. I'm excited for the under-23 Super lineup, though, if I'm being honest. Obviously, brought in Rodrigo. Hopefully, he plays. And, I'm excited. I'm excited for that because Mendy's a new signing for me. I've never used him. I'd say Super under-23 and maybe the Jupiler League. The Jupiler League special. It's probably the extent of how I'm looking. But 2 minutes to the deadline. 35 points for subs. Yeah, but 35 points for subs for everyone, isn't it? So nobody's really benefiting. That's kind of what... I mean, it's fine, but...
Depends on if they can get the AA off the bench. If it's like from the kitchen sink material and they come on and they get a few crosses into the... Depending on who we're talking about. Or
right.
I don't think anyone's bringing defenders off the bench for their team, are they? Like, oh yeah, this centre-back is going to come on in the last 10 minutes. So it's all forwards and attacking mids, isn't it? So it's just 100%. If they're somebody that can get right in amongst it, get their hands dirty.
No, I'm excited though.
I'm looking forward to it. This is going to be a huge game week, I think. Like, I really do hope that between the both of us, between everyone in the live chat, we're coming out of this with tons of boxes. I know you can only win 1 box at a time now, like it was before, but it was like 3 boxes and 2 boxes and stuff like that. But as many boxes you can get your hands on, a couple of card wins, and I don't know. I'm hopeful for a big trophy night on Tuesday off the back of game week 1 because the way the pre-sales have been going and all the rest of it, so many good cards to be won to begin the season. The prize pools are jam-packed. We've not got Bundesliga back yet, so they're not like maximum. They're, especially for champ, they're not at maximum kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so still a wee bit of there. But I think like for game week 1, like winning will be fun. Should be good seeing those Bellinghams and Mbappes and Fodens and Palmers and all the rest of it coming out. Saka.
It's weird because obviously we can't see the actual card yet, the silhouette and whatever. So it's a bit, I don't know, like it feels good winning them, but like if you win them, but like because you can't actually see the card, you can't really like, I don't know. There's like a lack of connection, I'd say, visually. When you're just looking at text, right? When you're looking at just
see the day where we can open the packs, mate. It's going to be one of the biggest Sorare days ever, I think.
I hope they make that, because Nicola said it's going to be...
Everyone is going to be opening them up at the same time.
Right,
it's going to be like everyone's a huge reward day almost, isn't it?
I guess, but the only unknown is it special or not? As in, like, your special card. That's the only variable, isn't it, that we're dealing with here, which is fun. Like, I'm not saying it's not fun. But I just wish it was I don't know what else I'd be wishing for, but I don't know. How could they made it even more special? If like what other unknown could have they added to the opening? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like maybe they kept the serial numbers off them.
Yeah. So then, you open up a jersey, mate. Yeah, there's that element. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think of that.
And the new card design will be a thing as well. Just design. Like showing off your cards. Like, I love my Real Madrid cards. Love my Dender cards.
My bloody Dender cards.
But by the way, this is a great point on this. I heard the Penfez mentioning this with Emil Smith Rowe. So he got an Emil Smith Rowe Arsenal condom packet, as the Andrews call it. And he says if you open it, it turns into a Fulham one. So he's not opening it. That's what he says, yeah. If you open it, it turns into a Fulham one. So if you keep it in the packet, it stays in the Arsenal collection.
So you have the choice to open these cards, do you?
Yeah. You can keep them in the packet if you want. They've said that from the word go. Yeah, you don't need to. You don't need to open them. So I went and done the same thing actually when I was listening to him, and then I was like, I don't know how, but I was just like, Celtic have just loaned Quan to Hibs. So this was on instant buy for like 15 quid, 12 quid. And I was like, screw it. At Hibs, he could be pretty good. An in-season card as well. Like, he was all right at St Mirren.
Yeah.
Could do this. You could do these kind of scores, you know. Keep him in the packet. Get the collection bonus.
Right, yeah. I didn't know you could keep them in the package, see? That's...
Yes, you can. I think that's part of it. You can list them as a packet card. Like, no problem. I think that's all fair game. I am 95% sure that they said that since the word go with this stuff. You can keep them mint. You don't need to open them. Mint in pack.
Says, another effort by Sorare. Less entries than rewards in La Liga in season D1.
Say that again, sorry. I was just grabbing a comment.
Leicester. In season D1 La Liga, there's less entries than rewards. So everyone's guaranteed. Like, I'm guessing that's cash reward, right?
Yeah, it must be in season. September is what we're told, Jack.
Yeah. You actually have to keep them in the packet for your collection if the player moves and you need them. Right, yeah. Wow, I didn't know you had the choice. That's funny. I honestly didn't know. I thought that everything just opened, and it was like...
I wonder if with Quan, right? So I don't know about Emil Smith-Rowe. I think the Premier League will be better for this, right? But I wonder with Quan. Imagine Quan never got a Hibs picture, but they do have a Celtic picture. Because that's also the problem is like Emil Smith-Rowe now has, like he actually has Fulham condom packets.
Cards, minted, yeah.
So like they have the picture set to go. So I think it's just all the Emil Smith-Rowe's.
I've seen people like offer cards to other people. Like I think someone in my Discord, it was like one of them had an Emil Smith-Rowe. Let's say it must have been the Arsenal version, and they were someone offered
to have the picture. That's what it is.
And someone offered them like the Fulham version plus like a load of other things, and it was a bit like, well, that's a no-brainer then, no? Because both are going to open up as Fulham cards. Is that right? But I guess if he wants to keep the Arsenal one in the packet, he could, I guess, keep it for that reason. Okay. Yeah, interesting. Players like Douglas Luiz, Villa packet, but move to Juve, which are unlicensed. So you can never open it. Yeah, in that scenario, yeah. That's fun. That is fun.
So, big game week, guys. We're locked and loaded. We are in the deadline. And somebody's already catching some of the intel of the numbers, the head count across all the divisions and everything, which I think is definitely one of the more fun aspects of this game week now is like, Jesus, look at the cap there, 15,000.
Mental, isn't it?
Seeing how many you're up against, especially with La Liga, because it's brand new, but even with Champ and the Prem, I think everyone's been quite eager to see what the numbers are like, especially in Classic, because most of us have teams there. But hearing the in-season numbers doesn't surprise me, really. I think, like Sorare, do want it to be very advantageous for you to have in-season cards. And it's all about your strategy around that. If you're buying them or winning them or whatever you're planning on doing, it's how you're going to make hay while the sun shines with the game, as it were, without the old stuff being here. But yeah, also Sociedad for La Liga. I'm quite hyped for that. Double Killison. So let's hope that Seville don't get 3 goals. Yeah, I'm hyped. I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping for a lot of boxes, a lot of cards. Hope you have hit the like button, you guys, if you've been watching this live or after we've been live, because as you know, Sorare own and control the internet. They love the content here on Quinny 3001 and over at Harry Trades YT, and they want to see you supporting the channel. So when you're here at the show, make sure you hit the like button, help your own at RNG luck. Make sure you don't get any DNPs. Just solidify the fact that you've picked the right captain. It helps you, it helps us. All the links to Harry's stuff is in the description down below, guys. It's been a great one. Game week 1 is here. And I guess we'll be back for game week 2. Harry, it's been an absolute pleasure, mate. Good luck this weekend.
Yeah, massive good luck to you, mate, and everyone at home as well. Big weekend, and hopefully we can bring home the bacon collectively, right?
Yeah, that's it. In amongst the bacon.